All right. Good evening. It's 8:01, 8:02 now. And I don't know if everybody the current AMC people know what 8:01 refers to. I don't know if they know the date of 8:01. I don't I don't know. Because a lot of these people uh, who the hell knows where they were on that day. I know what day it was. Does anybody here? I don't know. What day was 8:01? Well, I'll ask when more people are here. Somebody's got to know. Charlotte, do you know? Manny? All right. Mm. AMC, when Jesus comes, are you ready? I swear to God. Jesus. Okay, I've been waiting to watch this video for a while. Salads scanner. Salad scanner. AMC closing update March 13th, looking good.
Welcome back, everyone. Now we're going to take a look at AMC. As always, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I was wondering why we had that little tap today. Why did we recover like we did? And to me, it looks like there's a line that we can draw up right here. So why did we tap there? Here's why I would say somewhat support back here all the way in November, then turned resistance in December, stayed resistance, now back to support. That's a pretty strong support and resistance trend line there. So that would be my guess
What?
on why we got that tap where we did and why we're starting to recover from it. And I could actually see a pretty good, some
What the
growth
hell is
here
this
in
guy talking
AMC.
about?
Um, what AMC has been doing lately is kind of trading in a channel. We go all the way back to January. Little false break below. We can build this channel here.
God.
And
Oh
this is
my
going to give
God.
us an idea of where we can predict some price action to occur. If AMC can get some news and actually start rising in this channel, it's got a lot of room in here that it can work. Um,
I know what Manuel would say about this
there's
guy.
really nothing that's going to make this thing take off unless there's a little bit of news that can let it get some momentum and then start pushing. But as of right now, I like it. I took an entry. It got right down into that level that um, to test support, and the support sustained. So I think it's going to start making a green climb and start seeing this red
What?
line here is the point of control, and that goes off
Look
of
at all these
the
volume profile experts on here
VRVP, the
now.
visible range volume
That's funny.
profile, which I have talked about in one of my other videos.
Nobody ever
But
talked
here's
about volume
volume over
profile.
time. This axis is volume over price. As you can tell, we're approaching this shelf right here. And so there's been a lot of volume traded. These shelves are going to be a little harder to break through, but they'll also hold up support better. And in this little volume pocket, check that thing out. That gets way down in there, and you go straight from a volume pocket, which we should see some speed in, straight to the point of control. And this is where the most volume has been traded. In this time frame right here, that price is where the most volume has been traded, and that's at six
That's
dollars and
that's
twelve
right.
cents or so. Um, so I could see that also being a level that would be hard to break. Going into the next few days, let's see what levels we have going forward. If we were to do
Oh,
horizontal
Jesus.
line, and all I do is I have my support level. Now let's scan through here, and here's one right there at 5. I want to make that at 560. Yeah, 562.
What?
Resistance, support, 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 resistance. A break of 562 looks like it's going to probably come with a pretty good move. This would be a
Oh,
small, that
okay.
594 would be a small level of resistance. There's not
So
as
we're
many
talking about
taps.
multiple levels in the $5 range. I just have to ask, so what? Who cares about three freaking levels in the $5 range? Oh God, this is painful.
On
It's
it,
only five
but it
minutes.
does look like it would be a little bit of a level of resistance. After 594 or 592, I would say all the way up here, and it wouldn't be a real strong one. Um, it's the same level as those shoulders at 678. So you saw the head and shoulders play out. Come up, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and then comes all the way back down to the body. Um, Typically, head and shoulders is going to be a bearish reversal sign, and that definitely played out. Dipped right below.
Right. I mean,
But I would
exactly.
set price targets on here.
Is this guy trading?
Right at that 560 level was where that one was. 560, 594 are going to be two that we would look at gaining over the next few days. Um, I could
Uh,
see I could see AMC testing them here pretty soon.
AMC is
Tomorrow a
primed,
test
looking
of
primed for a run in the
561 would
green.
be good, and then if by end of week if we get a test of
The problem with that statement is, okay, sure, it has a run all the way up to 678. Who cares? What difference does it make? That's not going to do shit for anybody. Nobody. It might be a run in the green, but they're all in the red still. The
594.
only people that could actually that would actually benefit would be us here, because that would mean that we would be trading it. We would be buying it at these price levels and selling it at 678, which is not what the apes want. So stop telling us how to day trade it.
Then I'd have a real positive outlook on it. So that's just a quick rundown on AMC. We're just looking at it short term right now. Once it starts getting some momentum, we'll start setting more price targets on, okay, which levels do we need to test from here on out. The RSI is pretty cooled off. It's way low. Um, Getting all the way down. It got all the way down to 31. But we'll keep an eye on it and we'll keep you all updated and we can see what happens here with AMC. But if I were to venture a guess at it, I'd say we should have a couple green days, depending on what market news comes out and if the panic keeps happening. But as long as market stays steady, I could see it having some green over the next few days. So hope y'all enjoyed it. We'll talk to you later.
Oh yeah, it was most enjoyable. Um, okay. Charlotte says it's going down by the looks of it. Well, aren't you a negative, Nancy? Let's see. What are all this? What is all this stuff? Earnings? Who cares? Get off there. We can leave news on there though. Well, it is getting to the bottom of a dump, it looks like. I mean, this is so funny. It's just always, it's just like literally the same thing over and over, just lower, pretty much. I mean, trying to look for similar candles, but what was the, I can't see the volume because that news icon there. So news has to go away. 15 million. Ugh. Look at that. It was exactly the same volume as Friday. 15.5 million. Look at that. All right, we have to look in a little bit closer here. Lower lows and higher lows. I mean, this is some. Hmm. What was this low? 524. 524. But in the pre, it hit 592, right? What was that in the pre, or is that? Yeah, yeah, at 4 o'clock. Um, so how does this compare to what are all these levels I've got on here? I think it's going to have to get rid of all those. I don't know what the hell those were. I mean, down or sideways. But you know what they're going to say. You know what we're going to hear before too long is this line, this green line is the current price. Oh my God, it's right at the price it was before it s squeezed. Well, they don't talk about it like that. It's right before the fake squeeze in June, the same price. Look, it starts going up here. It does start going up there, but even before it was going up, when it was in this price range in the spring of 2021, which we didn't have bank failures in the spring of 2021. They were handing out money to everybody, literally everybody. Any idiot got money from this government. The volume was 54 million, 40 million, 30 million. I don't think there was not a day in the teens of millions of volume here. I mean, it's skewed because of all those huge volume days, but if I move it over, if I zoom in and move it just right, you can see these candles here, and there's a couple in the 20s, but the volume is not there. Um, well, we'll come back to this here. What is this here? Barron's research report that they talk about AMC. AMC market perform price for 584 on March 8th. By Barrington Research, AMC reported Q4 revenue of 990 million and EBITDA of 14.5 million, both topping estimates. But significant uncertainty remains for AMC due to its high financial leverage. Management has been successful in raising equity that has improved AMC's potential to move past the pandemic, but risk levels remain high. AMC ended the year with 632 million of cash, with additional liquidity via credit facilities. Company is making progress on its deferred rent balance, which was roughly cut in half in 22. AMC has also utilized its preferred stock to reduce total debt by 100 by how much? 300 million. Since the start of the pandemic, AMC has closed 115 locations but has added 54 theaters. Management is holding a shareholders meeting tomorrow at which it is proposing to convert the company's ape class shares to common since they have essentially similar rights. Oh, is that why? Since they have essentially similar rights, we might as well just make them the same thing. AMC will also vote on a 10-for-1 verse split in order to keep this thing from being delisted. It doesn't say that, but that's my Thomas James adding in the details. Cisco stock deserves a place at your. Oh, wait, never mind. Okay. Barrington. All right. Moving right along here. AMC made a press release this morning, basically said, we can't reverse split. We'll likely need to restructure. Ooh, the dreaded R word, the other R word, restructure. All right, moving along here. So that was underwhelming. Let me find this other stuff here. There's a lot of stuff here. Why can I not get? Okay, there we go. Bubbles the clown might show up later. Um, oh yeah, here's this press release you were talking about right here. You linked it, Lynn. I think this is it. AMC. No, no, I don't think it. I don't think that's what it means either. It's funny though. Um, a listen only webcast. Business Wire. Okay, so my voice is already starting to go out, so I'm just going to put that link in the chat if anybody wants to look at the press release. And let's see here. What do we got? What do we got? Let's go to Twitter. Gasparino has admitted that Citadel is hiding synthetic AMC shares in a bank, not at the Silicon Valley Bank, but at another bank. Forward-looking statements. It's halfway down the section. Uh, Commenced litigation to prevent the conversion, which will delay and, if successful, could prevent the conversion of APE into common stock, impede our ability to raise additional funds, and materially and adversely impact market prices and the value of AMC, preferred equity units, and common stock, and the risks and uncertainties relating to the sufficiency of AMC's existing cash equivalents, and available borrowing capacity. AMC's ability to obtain additional liquidity likely would result with AMC seeking an in-court or out-of-court restructuring of its liabilities. Restructuring of liabilities. Oh, well, they didn't use the B word, but um, AMC's ability to achieve expected synergies. Jesus Christ. The fuck does that mean? Ability to achieve expected synergies. Benefits and performance from its strategic initiatives. Like they're getting just too high in the sky with this language here. Yeah, Kansas City for the win. So, oh, excuse me. All right. Well, the link's there if anybody wants to read the whole thing. This is an ape. This is an ape. This is like one of our comrades on Twitter, right? This isn't really an ape, or is it? I don't know. I recognize his name, but so Gasparino said, I'm just waiting for AMC ape message boards to start spreading the rumor that Kenny G's stash of synthetic AMC shares was kept at Silicon Valley Bank, which means the stock will squeeze Monday. Sad, huh? But it says Silicon Valley. Probably Morgan Stanley, since we have someone on the board of directors that works for them. Do they even, God, s- synth, nixic, if you can't spell the word synthetic, okay, Jake, you shouldn't be using it. Didn't they burn the hard copies last year? That Chicago warehouse had accidentally burned down. Oh, yeah. Mr. Grumpy, the verified arson investigator. Oh, wait, is he Canadian too? Oh, don't even get me started. Look, 801. 801. He's an 801 ape from Canada, no less. Followed by the Butcher of Wall Street, Boss Blunts, Tara Bull, and Adam Aron. Wow, it's like a trifecta of retardation. I have nothing against Canadians. Don't get me wrong. But I've noticed if it's possible for anybody to be more retarded than a standard ape, these Canadian apes, they boy, they just don't get it. They don't get it at all. Wow. And the one that started it all, the Canadian ape that started it all, Peter fucking Hahn. Peter Hahn, Canadian, not all that smart. Okay. Let's see. So I had trouble getting the NYSE halts come up earlier. I couldn't see the halts. Crime, crime right here. Clearly crime. Let's see. What do we got here? Biden's total speech talking to the American public about the possible banking crisis was a total of 3 minutes. After his speech was done, he walked away, taking no questions from reporters. Great. Let's see here. Okay, this next one is great. Now, I don't know if any of these ape influencer retards are talking about this or not. But if not, remember, you heard it here first. And I heard it first from Manuel, who from whom I often hear many things first. So, yeah, it's a crisis because people are making it a crisis. And the apes are pissed that the Fed is is doing their job. So hilarious. They want the banks to crash because they think it'll bring their little short squeeze. Not likely. Okay, investor turf. I don't know exactly what this is. Um, the latest stock and cryptocurrency information. Hundreds of thousands of people are reading investor turf. I'm sure they are. If you have to tell me that hundreds of thousands of people are reading it, they probably aren't, but whatever. So here we have a tweet. Breaking news. We've received a communication from the legal team representing Citadel Securities requesting we remove an article that we published. The article in question is based on publicly available information and allegations that we did not create ourselves. Not sure that really matters. Dear sir, come on, what the hell? Dear sir or madam, I write on behalf of my client, Citadel Securities. Your blog, Investor Turf, currently hosts multiple posts that contain false and defamatory statements about Citadel Securities. Most recently, you published a blog post titled Ex-Citadel Engineer Reveals Rigged Trading Game of Citadel Securities. This post repeatedly claims that Citadel Securities engages in, quote, manipulative practices to, quote, create artificial liquidity or, quote, create fake liquidity. These statements are not only false, but defamatory per se. That the blog post purports to report on a LinkedIn post by Nick McConlog is irrelevant, as you are equally liable for republishing these falsehoods. True. And then here is a footnote. See restatement of torts, second paragraph 578. So the tort law, the book, the law book of tort law that covers defamation, stating the rule that, quote, one who repeats or otherwise republishes defamatory matter is subject to liability as if he had originally published it. As if he had originally published it. Other posts on Investor Turf reveal a pattern of repeated malicious and defamatory statements, including the facially absurd accusations that Citadel Securities has engaged in fraud, accounting tricks, and political bribes, and that Citadel Securities, quote, accounting books are completely fraudulent. Collectively, these posts reveal a transparent intent to disseminate falsehoods about Citadel Securities and damage the company's reputation. This is clear evidence of actual malice. Citadel Securities will not take lightly those who seek to cause harm to the company by intentionally and maliciously publishing damaging falsehoods. The type of baseless and incendiary allegations in the posts referenced herein are far outside the realm of fair commentary, and they expose investor turf and all individuals associated with the site to serious legal risk. Now, that's important because it exposes the site and all individuals associated with the site to serious legal risk. These offending posts must be immediately retracted and removed from the Investor Turf website. The same demand applies to all social media posts repeating these false claims. Failure to comply will be considered further evidence of a reckless disregard for the truth. Citadel Securities will take any and all legal actions necessary to hold accountable all individuals and entities that participate in this plainly horrendous conduct. This is not a full recitation of my client's rights and remedies, which are expressly reserved. Sincerely. So there you go. Not for publication or attribution. Well, oops. So what's the first thing they do? Publish it on Twitter. These people aren't so smart. They are not so smart. I don't understand what the fuck they think they're doing here. I honestly don't. Yeah. As much as the apes want to think that they are smarter than lawyers, that's laughable. Let's see here. So what do we got here? We got a thread. We would like to state that we will not be intimidated by these demands, and we have no intention of removing the article. Well, clearly this blog here does not have legal counsel because I can tell you right now, legal counsel would not never tell anybody put out a statement like this. Seriously. We stand by our commitment to providing accurate and informative content to our readers, and we will continue to do so without fear of reprisal. Um, no, that you're not being brave. You're being stupid here. Oh yeah, they're going to get the whole damn website taken down. So this is the reply, I guess, and they put this on Twitter. Why would you put all this on Twitter? I don't get it. I mean, clearly these people have never had to deal with a lawsuit before because they are going into this chewing bubble gum. We have received your request to remove the post in question. However, we would like to inform you that the post contains allegations from publicly available information and as such, we will not be removing it. It is important to note that articles such as these require significant financial investment from investor turf, and as such, we are what? Fuck off. And as such, we are unable to comply with your request. That's bullshit. Furthermore, we would like to highlight that Citadel has been charged with fraud by authorities on multiple occasions, as is publicly available information. We did not create these allegations ourselves, and as such, your attempt to coerce us with a cease and desist order will not be successful. Should you continue to contact us in this manner, we will be forced to file a complaint for harassment. It does not fucking work like that, okay? It doesn't fucking work like that. These are the same idiots. I mean, this is not far off from sovereign citizens right here. Um, no, you can be served with a fucking lawsuit, okay? And you cannot file a restraining order against a process server who's trying to file you a fucking serve you on a fucking lawsuit that you've been named in. Okay? This is childish. This is retarded. Oh my god. Yeah, quoting some other asshole's blog is citing publicly available information. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. You can't repeat defamatory statements, which Lynn already said. Citadel Securities has no rights to attempt to bully us. We do not operate under United States laws. We are not based in the United States. Good luck. Okay. So they're not based in the United States. Guess what? Guess what? Guess what, assholes? Jesus Christ. How clueless are these fucking people? And look at this. They published a new one. We're always on the same page, Lynn. Come on. We're always on the same page. Citadel Securities violations and fines. So what? What is the point of this? Unusual investor? Is this unusual whales? Who the fuck is this? Investor turf. I mean, imagine like writing a reply to this shit that reads like this. City Securities has no rights to attempt to bully us. We do not operate under United States laws. We are not based in the United States. Good luck. Doesn't fucking matter. So what? I'm going to go to another country or I'm going to break the law on the internet involving a company in another country and I'm immune. You can't touch me. Imagine thinking that it works like that. What the fuck? God damn it. It's got to be run by a fucking 16-year-old. But I mean, I know it's not though. I know it's not. Jesus Christ, what a shit show. Where's this thread? I saw a thread somewhere. What a bunch of retards. Oh no, that's not right. Oh, I guess this is the thread. Donahue is blaming the Colombians and Mexican cartel. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. These people. We're not based in America. Great. Yeah. Who- Who's banned? What do you mean? Um, little bitch report form? Oh, you know what that makes me think
You're
of?
being a little bitch.
Ah! Hey, guess what?
You're being a little bitch.
When that happened, let me just say this. When that happened on Charles Payne's show, that solidified in my mind that this whole thing was a big fucking scam. Seriously. He's gonna go on and
You're being
say,
a little bitch.
what a joke. What a joke. Oh boy, MMAT News is sticking by their side. Meta News. Wow, Meta News. God. I thought there was going to be more actual, non like meme dumbass replies, but LMAO, these clowns have no way out. Like like this like a company standing up against a bunch of idiots who are putting out completely ridiculous false statements, defamatory statements about their business somehow suggests that the apes are going to get their Moass. Give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. What a joke. You have got to be kidding me. And I'm not, but yeah. Okay, now moving on. That's funny. That is great. I love that. We're gonna have to keep our eye on this because Investor Turf has got another thing coming to him if they think that, oh, we're not based in the US, so yeah. Good luck with that one. Good fucking luck with that one. All right. Next we have
I just saw a short video on scavenger stonks. And he's like, explain to the 6-year-old, explain to the 6-year-old how it's a good thing losing 90% of my shares. The big day is happening tomorrow. And he made it seem like, well, if I had 10 $10 bills or one $100 bill, it equals out to be the same amount of money in your portfolio. Okay, this is what he doesn't understand. We all understand that. What you don't understand is this. What have we all been dealing with in this effing AMC, in this stock market, this corrupt stock market for over 2
What have we been dealing with? You fucking morons who don't understand a goddamn thing about it. That's what we've been dealing with. You think that oh my God. Yeah, okay. So Scavenger explained the concept of change, the concept of interchangeability, 5 single-dollar bills versus a $5 bill, same thing, different denominations, same thing as stock. But but apparently that that's not all there is to it. Okay, tell us, ape father, tell us.
years. Corruption. Okay, what is it all going to stop now? You know, Citadel's no longer going to short AMC, and Terra's no longer.
There's actually no evidence that Citadel is shorting AMC. I mean, we've been saying this for 2 years now. There's where's the evidence? There is no evidence. Oh yeah, they all think that. They all think that Citadel has got all these naked short positions and whatever else. Like they like not that they're working as a market maker, but that they're just shorting it because they want to see the price go down because they need the price to go down by a lot because they're over leveraged or something, somehow losing money even though the stock is down. So that makes no sense. But beyond all of this, where is it in fucking black and white print? Okay. Where is it in black and fucking white where it says that Citadel is shorting AMC? I want to see that. If you can't show that, shut the fuck up about it. Okay. And go find some fucking proof. Or again, shut the fuck up about it. It's all leading back to shut the fuck up. But no, they never will.
Longer going to
They
short
never will.
AMC, especially when AMC shoots up to over $50 a share. What's going to happen? Everyone's going to start buying AMC at $53, $54 a share?
Oh, so okay, so they're pissed at the price is $5.40, whatever. So they're pissed about that, and they're pissed that it's going to be $54 or whatever. So can you ever please these people? Can we? How should we make you happy, Ape Father? Do you want? Okay, I know. Just make the shares $5,400. Then you'll be happy. Oh no, they'll just short it down. How the fuck do we make you happy? How the fuck do we get you to shut the fuck up? I know. AMC to 0. That'll get these fucking clowns to shut the fuck up. Maybe. Probably not. Damn it.
Probably not. Okay?
Probably
They're
not.
going to short the living shit out of this thing to oblivion. You got all these friggin', people have been saying.
Welcome to the stock market, Richie. Welcome to the fucking stock market, okay? Not everybody is betting the same way as you. And that's okay. That is okay. Not everybody wins. That's okay. I mean, shit. What is this childish bullshit? He's the one here citing a 6-year-old. This is a 6-year-old understanding of the fuck. No, I think you could explain, maybe not a 6-year-old, but I bet you could using analogies and things like kids' analogies and whatnot, toys and candy, whatever. But I fully believe, I believe this with as much conviction as these clowns believe in their silly Moass. I believe that you could teach a 12-year-old, and I've said this before, you could teach a 12-year-old, one that pays attention in school, about how this works, and they would right off the fucking bat, they would be a better investor than all of these clowns. Period. Period. Which is, that's sad. This guy's in his fucking 40s. These people are adults. And if it were legal to do such experiments, I would do that. You know, I'm not even gonna sounds terrible, but you know, get a kid from the neighborhood and teach them the basics and give them a $500 Robinhood account, violate the terms of service and let them trade on it, and I guarantee they would do better than the apes. I guarantee it. I would bet money on that. I would bet fucking money. So, Jesus Christ. And get
The
off the
longest
toilet
time
too.
analyst, the true value of AMC is $6 a share, and I never wanted to believe it. Scavenger stunks. But we're below $6 a share. We're below, like there's things below here, which I don't want to get into, that stink. Let me get rid of that stink. Bye-bye, stink. I want to get rid of the AMC stink.
Yeah. Bye-bye stink. Fuck you. God damn, he is losing his fucking mind. Probably already lost. Okay. We're gonna come back to Toothless McWalrus here in a minute, but I want to pivot here to banks. We got a bank video, and I don't know who this is, but
All right, so I have air in my tire.
oh, okay. The collapse of the banks is the Moass or the apes. What is going? What is going around? Yeah, I see that. I see that. Corruption is everywhere, but can you prove it? No. And, you know, do, do like we always say, I mean, let's see, I got to remember where I'm at in Telegram because I'm going to jump back to 631 is where I'm currently at here. And it's okay. Let's see what you got here, Lynn. Investor turf's best friends. Elon Musk, Cat Stryker, Citadel Securities, Terrible Mr. Nerd, Lucrative Lou, director of Harambe Resources, that's ape speak for retard, Adam Aron, Avi Harkishan, oh boy, I love him, Charles Gasparino, Charles V. Payne. Wow. Wow. That's it's a hell of a friends list, I gotta say. Shit. Is that that's based on Twitter? Yeah. Let's see. Adam Aron told his investors that he wants to dump more shares. They are going to get destroyed. Who's what? Okay, Charlotte, you're relatively new here-ish. You got to tell us who they are, okay? We have a very strict policy on they here. You have to you have to you have to identify your theys. Who are they? Who are they? We don't know who they are. And what institutions and banks are being thrown under the bus? Because what we see is banks that fucked up, plain and simple. Citadel is number 5. That's pretty sad, isn't it? Ah, God. Who are they? Who are you talking about? Talking about the grifters? You talking about the media, the market, the Illuminati? Who are they? Okay.
All right, now, so I feel better. All right, check this out. At what point do we just allow bankers
Government. Sounds like a conspiracy. Gonna have to give some proof.
to get fired and say it's okay.
Like the government didn't throw the banks under the bus. That's not what happened.
Like, the money's not free
Hold on, I'm just
to
gonna go
get
back.
fired. At what point do we just allow bankers to get fired and say it's okay? Like, the money's not free. The money's coming from somewhere. For them to say, like, oh, it's not coming from taxpayers, it's coming from this fund that they put money into.
Why don't you read about it, Marantz? Why don't you quit driving around, quit fucking waving your GameStop flag? You wearing a dare? No, it's not a dare. She's not that cool. Why don't you read about it? Oh, I'm sure he has. I mean, but he doesn't believe. I'm sure he probably doesn't trust what they say. Who would?
That doesn't
He's in tune with some right wing fucking sources. He's got to be. This guy is a fucking Matt Drudge fan, if there ever was one. And he's a Zero Hedge fan. Shit, he probably watches Alex Jones. Kind of retarded.
negate any wrongdoing. Like, there literally is a crime that happened. They over leveraged themselves. They did something that was not regulated. And if you don't have regulations in place to catch it, but now you want to fix the problem, that's one thing. I get you on that.
Dude, you're so fucking ignorant. You are making no sense. Literally just fucking happened, and you're talking, oh, they're just letting them off the hook. What a clown. What are you talking about? It didn't cause your Moass today. Boo-hoo. Nothing will. Nothing will. Jesus Christ. God damn it.
But we've been doing banking for 150 years. Like, this is not something new. That's the part that kills me. It's like people act like
Federal Reserve was created in 1914. That's not 150 years.
oh, this is some big problem now. This has always been a problem. And it's always going to
No, it hasn't. Again, if you actually took the time to fucking learn about what happened. And Jesus Christ. What gives people the fucking overconfidence to make them? And here he is with the fucking backwards ass black American. I knew it. I fucking knew it. To sit just to talk out of their ass like this. I don't understand. I don't understand.
be a problem because you bail them out. Why? I don't understand. These senior guys, the two main guys that are getting fired, right? Becker and the other guy, they made almost $10 billion last year, and yet their banks were failing this year. I mean, they're failing.
What? Again, shows that you don't understand the basics of what the fuck is happening. You don't understand the basics of fucking monetary policy. If you're willing to say something like that, listen to what he just said. Listen to what he just said. Really listen to what he just said.
It's going to be a problem because you bail them out. Why? I don't understand.
Well, no, they didn't bail out the CEO. Okay, they didn't bail out the executives. They are making the depositors funds available to the depositors. That is a big difference. And if you can't see that difference, what the fuck? But listen to what he says.
These senior guys, the two main guys that are getting fired, right? Becker and the other guy, they made almost $10 billion last year, and yet their banks were failing this year. I mean, they're failures.
They made $10 billion last year, and yet their banks are failing this year. It's almost like something happened in the last year. Oh man, what could it possibly be? The fastest interest rate hikes we've ever fucking had. This is why if you want to talk about this shit, you have to know a little bit. You have to know enough to be curious and to go look and read and learn more. What? Oh, yeah, they made $10 billion last year, but this year their bank failed. Huh, I wonder why. I fucking wonder why. And I'm not discounting any fraud that might have been happening. Obviously, there was fraud because if they were selling shares of stock last week on a company that they knew was insolvent, that was holding all of this unrealized debt that they didn't disclose, yeah. But that's not a systemic problem. That's some bad apples. You dig? Like that's not a lack of regulation. That's people fucking up and fucking around and doing shit that they should not have done because they're greedy. Yes, nobody's bailing them out though. What the hell?
If that's the case, right? FDIC doesn't go around taking over banks every day. I've been around for a minute. I know that part.
Well, yeah, okay, great, yeah.
So I just ask you, like, why do we have that? Why do we even have an SEC? I'm curious on that.
Well, the SEC doesn't have anything to do with depository banks. That's first of all. Boy, this guy, is he on drugs or something? He is all over the place. He is literally from one thing to the next, not making any sense. I'm concerned. I am concerned for his well-being because this is not coherent at all. So now he went from the bank was doing great last year and now they failed and that's fucked up and I've been around for a long time. And what is the point of the SEC anyway? Well, they don't fucking regulate banks, do they? Jesus Christ. Just show us that you know nothing.
Too. Now, if we're allowing these companies to trade on the public markets, aren't we supposed to be looking into their books and their accounting practices? Like, who did they hire? Who did they report to? Like, everything has to be reported.
Well, you can literally look that up. You can look that up too. What do you want me to do it for you? Fuck you.
And there should be the failure of oversight should not be a risk to the investor. Like, I don't agree with what Biden said to this morning, where he's like, they've all invested with the degree of risk, like they all knew what could happen. No, because the things that give us ratings, the institutions that actually tell us what something's worth, like there's actual accounting that is involved with balance statements, right?
Yeah, but if you literally don't disclose the losses, that's fraud. I don't understand. I don't understand what the fuck his point is here. They hid stuff from people. They hid the losses from people. What do you want? What more is there to say, really? Yeah, they were pieces of shit. They should be in jail, like you, much like you, much like him. At this point, no, he should. He no. He's. I agree. He's unraveling, and he's losing his mind. This is what happens when you lie and grift for fucking years. This is what happens right here, kids. This is what happens. Don't be a grifter. Do not be like this quote unquote man. He's not a man. He's a fucking little boy. This is a fucking little fucking boy and a pretty ugly one.
Then you have a ratings for whether it be borrowing money. You have a ratings. You have a credit rating. You literally have a system.
What was their credit rating?
To tell you if something is a safe investment or not.
That's not what a credit rating is telling you. That's not, no. But anyway, oh my God. Aren't bank stocks protected by SEC? I don't know what that means. Protected by SEC? Nothing is protected by the SEC except for, you know, investors' rights and things like that, and like just the actual structure of the markets. But
else, what the hell do we have?
we have a system that works, all things considered, pretty goddamn well, actually. We have a pretty goddamn, you know, well-functioning system, actually. Now, if you're an entitled little prick and you think that somebody owes you something and you see all this stuff happening around you and you're like, well, what about me? What about me? Then yeah, I could, okay. But that's again, that's what children say. That's what non-adults say. Um, Bank stocks are stock and not bank regulations. Yeah, we're not talking about the stock here. Let's be clear. The stockholders for that bank are fucked. That's always the way it is. Okay. It doesn't matter if it's a bank stock or if it's a movie theater or a game company or a towel store or whatever. Shareholders have basically no claims to anything if the company goes under. That's the way it is. So it's not special for banks, uh, but he's the one who jumped to the SEC. I don't know what like now. All of a sudden, he is worried about and he's concerned about, and he has empathy for the shareholders of Silicon Valley Bank. Sorry, Silicon Valley Bank. Why? Like he doesn't give a fuck about anybody. And quite frankly, neither do I. Why would I care about the shareholders in another fucking company? Companies go out of business all the time. People lose money every day in the market. You can't save every fucking stray cat. Worry about your own shit. Were you a shareholder? Morantz, were you a fucking shareholder in Silicon Valley Bank? No? Then what the fuck are you talking about? Seriously, this is just a fucking rant for rant's sake. This is a rant because he likes to hear his own voice. What a clown. I
This is
hate this
all
guy.
made
Fucking retard.
to keep retail investors, the little man, down.
Oh, give me a fucking break. What? Again, Morantz, were you a fucking shareholder in Silicon Valley Bank? Do you have any fucking exposure to this at all? No, because if you did, that would have been front and center. What a fucking grifter. Yeah, it's all designed to keep the retail trader down. You know, you know what's keeping your retail trading ass down? The fact that you are a fucking shitty investor. You don't know how to fucking do research, technical analysis, or even fucking talk. Okay? You don't know how to pick stocks. You pick the loser. You can't fucking admit it. You're a fucking clown.
And bail out
I hope he sees this fucking video. Send it to him. I don't give a fuck. This is ridiculous. This is the dumbest shit I have ever heard from an adult. Period.
the banks when they overstep their boundaries. That's just my conclusion. And can I get upset at banks and just be mad and pound my head on the dirt? No, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let this go. I'm going to get over it in like a week.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, guys. Oh, thank God. He's going to let it go. He's going to let it go. Who gives a fuck what you think, bro? You're a nobody. You are a fucking nobody. Yes, I'm sitting here with 1,700 subscribers calling you a nobody with your 6,000 or 6.03K because your shit is garbage. Total fucking garbage.
I probably will. I'm still mad that it happened so fast. Like, literally didn't happen fast enough, but it happened.
Jorge, what SEC, if they did their job, do have something to do. What do you want them to do? What do you want the SEC to do? Okay? The SEC does not control the market. The SEC, I mean, what do you want the SEC to do? Say, "Oh, no, 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 guys, the share should be trading at this price." That's not how markets work. I think people really are confused about the role of the SEC. Maybe we should do a stream on that sometime. We could look at how the markets were before the SEC. And let me give you a hint. Before the SEC was around, which didn't happen until like 1933. Yeah, the crash of 29 happened under a market structure with no regulation. No regulation. And I can tell you right now, the apes would have gotten their asses handed to them in the stock market of the 1920s. They would have, Wall Street would have chewed them up and spit them out and then chewed them up again and spit them out again 4 times. They would have gotten destroyed. These fucking, you can't even call them neophytes. They're just It's oh, Jesus Christ. You know, they bitch about the SEC. The SEC needs to do its job. Then when the SEC does do things, which they do a lot of stuff, which we used to talk about more here, but they bitch about that. So, you know, they bitch about everything. The SEC does not regulate banks. That's what I said, Jorge. Okay, let me clarify this one last time. The SEC does not regulate banks. That's what I said. I'm not talking about the stock of the bank. This guy is the one that brought up the stock of the bank. Okay. Yeah, it's a publicly traded company that happens to be a bank. The SEC really still doesn't have anything to do with the stock itself. They're the regulatory agency. They're the people that you submit your financial statements to. They're the people, you know, that have all that shit on file. But as far as the actual banking regulations go, the SEC has nothing to do with that. That is all I said. I'm not talking about the stock. I don't care about the stock. Don't care about the stockholders. Let me just clarify that. They all lost their money. Boo hoo. Happens every day. Too bad. Tough titties. It's capitalism. Pick yourself up and move on. That's it. Okay. The entity and its stock are not one thing. That's such a good point. And a company and a stock are two different things. And they can go in wildly different directions. You could have a great company that has a great product that has a shitty stock. We talked about this last night. And you could have a company that is a shit company that has a stock that is very popular and does really well. It does not necessarily follow. Um, but yeah, okay. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that's clarified. You know, he's talking about banking regulations. He's talking about the bank making money and then not making money. And then he mentions the SEC. And I say, what does the SEC have to do with how a bank is run? Nothing. Can I complain to the SEC if I don't like my Starbucks coffee? If Starbucks is publicly traded, which they are, no. Because Gary Gensler would be like, well, at least you have coffee. We don't even have coffee.
So fast to where another bank is buying out another bank. Like, oh yeah, HSBC just gonna come on in and buy out that UK portion. No big deal. Yeah, no worries. No harm, no foul. Main guy gets fired. Did you guys know the main guy is on the chairman of the board of directors? Like, does he get gone from there too? I gotta ask all these questions because you gotta blame somebody more than just one person. It's like trying to blame the president for everything that happens in the world, yet there's a Congress involved, right? Like this.
Oh, this coming from the guy that regularly bashes the president? Wow, that's funny.
Is not like these banks are not run by like one person. That's all I'm saying. They all
Who said they are?
risk assessment. They all balance each other out. There's just no way.
He's got nothing to say.
Answer, and that it happens in the facet it does. So, just my opinion.
There's no way. Oh, I love that one. There's no way.
Obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Oh my God, obviously. Let's see what he's wrong about.
Facet it does. So, just my opinion. Obviously.
Oh, his opinion.
But you tell me why other banks are down 60% on the day on their stock. How is that fair, Mr. President, that your lack of confidence and oversight in the...
Now, he just said you can't blame the president. Oh, yeah, the president sits there and reads the fucking bank financial statements at night with his fucking reading glasses. Are you fucking kidding me? And you just said president does... Oh, my God. What a fucking clown. I mean, you got to be a fucking real piece of shit to say something and then immediately contradict it. God damn.
banking sector, which you...
I have missed, I have to say, this guy is great fucking material. This guy is great material. These short videos of his are fucking great. They're so terrible. They're fucking perfect. Oh my God, it's taken me 25 minutes to get through this video probably, but holy shit.
proclaimed
Wow.
no threat, and it was okay. Why are we not putting Jerome Powell back in the hot seat and saying, hey, you just made comments this week to say that we were fine, and now we're not? Certainly not for investors. Oh, everyone's deposits are okay. Oh, the people, the voters, they're okay. Yeah.
I think we can get that down to a month and a half if we get our streams in front of her eyes. We got to figure out a way to get her eyes on this stream, and then she'll realize what an idiot she married.
Yeah, because they're going to get a paycheck. Here, let me give you another stimulus package while I'm at it. Let me buy your vote one more time.
No.
That's the way I see it.
Well, you see it wrong. Your glasses, you need new glasses.
This bank fucked up. Let's just shut them down, open up shop. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Oh, no. President Biden's going to let you roll.
He's on fucking drugs. There's no question in my mind he's on something. This is fucked up. Now he's singing.
Drop.
Like, I've heard. Oh my God.
I'm just driving and singing, bros, at this point. That's what my life has resorted to. I'm not.
Well, that's pretty fucking sad.
I'm not a madman. I literally do the homework, but I'm just letting you know. God damn, bro.
It doesn't sound like you do based on the questions you have. Why wouldn't you do the homework first and then come on to a fucking video with the answers instead of asking stupid fucking questions?
You know, when you see shit happen in real time, you're still blown away. Because you might read about it. You might be like, oh yeah, that happened last year. But this shit really happened like at the day of happening.
Sure seems like it.
All right, I got to drive here in California. It's a little rough out here. But
he is in California.
I'll be around. Peace.
No wonder. No offense, Len. I know you won't take any, but still. Oh God. Where's that? What was that country club called? The Vintage. The Vintage. Yeah, I already looked it up once. The Vintage Country Club. That's in Indian Wells, California. Where is that? Where's Indian Wells? Oh. Oh God, he lives out here? I mean, I don't know. I don't think I've been over here a lot. And I've been down here some, and I've been up here once. Where is it? I've been up here once, twice. I've never been over here. And I don't like the way that looks at all with this. I mean, maybe I would visit some of these places. I've heard of this place. I've heard of a lot of this. I've never heard of this. Is this where the hotels originated? Mecca. Wow. Mecca. I'm not making fun of California. It's just like that. It's not a happy place. Okay. Wow. Yeah, clearly. I mean, I think I've been to, let's see, where is it? Let's see, where the fuck? I always get so turned around out here. Where's Loma Linda? That's out there by that, isn't it? Somewhere. Oh no, it's right. It's right where I was. Okay, yeah. I've been here. That's as far over this way as I've been. And it still seemed like it was basically in the city, is basically LA still, I think. So I don't think that I would get that feeling out here. I don't know. Oh, Coachella is out there. No, no. Okay. Well, anyway, that's enough of that fun. Holy crap. That guy's losing his mind. Someone built cheap houses. Sounds like it was the Bluth family. It was the Bluth family. Arrested Development. All right. Well, here we have an update from Lou. Here we go.
All right. I'm gonna keep you updated for a while, but I'm gonna go get some pizza. But
Pizza!
as the world melts down. Let me go through the top headlines right now.
As the world melts down. What's melting down exactly? Okay, I don't
I
know.
already told you about the
Whatever.
U.S. government move to stop financial crisis. Dog, yeah, for real. 62 billion ticking time bomb. What about the derivatives that these banks are holding? That's in the trillions. Congress eyes next steps. Those confused motherfuckers? Yeah, they're looking at where they're going to invest in. The bailout debate begins. Well, I thought there was going to be no bailout. The debate begins. No. We need a couple more banks, then we can do it. Cramer, it's easy for any of us to cause a run. That's freaky. Okay, crypto scores the globe for lenders. Here's the thing about it. You want to talk about cryptos score? Search the globe to replace these collapsed U.S. lenders. If your crypto has to borrow money to shore them up, it has no value. I'm sorry.
Well, none of them do. I mean, none of them have any inherent value. Let's be clear about that. So, yeah, it's a greater fool theory at its finest.
That's just those are nothing but freaking shit coins. But let's continue. Now I can understand for the business operations of the company and stuff like that, like a software company, I get it, but to back up the crypto, yeah, fuck that. Credit
I like
Suisse
how you
shares
phrased
fall
that,
to a
Lynn.
new record low. Funny, somebody was just talking about Credit Suisse yesterday. Friendly Puerto Rican.
Oh yeah, they love Credit Suisse,
Yeah, okay.
but it was
Credit
up
Suisse
today.
shares fall, new record low after a
I mean,
collapse of SVB
not
and
really,
Signature
but
Bank. Yeah, like
it
okay.
didn't close at the lows of the day. That's what
Then
I meant to say.
the interesting thing about it is, wow,
Model 3,
stocks
dude.
yeah, okay. Fed emergency measures. So that means the Fed's going to step in and start paying. That's bailouts. And then they'll probably do bail-ins when they run out of money. Let me tell you something. Oh, wait a minute. Regional banks seeing run on deposits. Mega banks too big to fail. Ho! We heard that shit before. Too big to go fuck yourself? Because we've heard that in 2008. All right.
Well, I hate to break it to you there, Lou, but yeah, there are too big to fail banks, and that's that's not my decision. That's what they decided. That's what they decided. But I mean, Lou should know that we really don't want to see JP Morgan or, any of the other top 4 banks fail. Not that they would over this, but it, you know, it would not be good. That would not be good. All right. Yeah, Model 3 dude, if you want to hear me destroying rats. Oh, dude, he was I mean, I actually want Model 3 dude to go back and, you know, listen to a little bit of that and then come back to go get in the DeLorean, go back 10 minutes to 1985 and listen to some of his fucking cracked out video. And you tell me, then get back in the DeLorean. Hopefully you have enough plutonium. Get back in the DeLorean, turn the flux capacitor on, come back to 2023 and tell us what drug he's on. What drug? What freaking drug is Marantz Rants on in that video? Because I do not want to take that drug, which is not usually what I say, but in this case, oh boy.
All right, the fixes and go have lunch.
Or is it just California? Is it because he lives in the desert out near Coachella and La Quinta and Loma? No, not Loma Linda. But is it that? Is it like dehydration plus extreme UV A, B, and C exposure? Or what? What is going on?
They're gonna bail out everybody. At the end of the day, chicken at $19,000 a pound. You can't even make this shit up.
No, chicken at $19,000 a pound if the Fed pussies out like Goldman thinks that they will. Those fucks, Goldman Sachs thinks that they will pussy out of raising rates. Then we will have entrenched inflation and you'll have chicken at $19,000 a pound. This has nothing to do with that, except if it influences the decision to continue raising rates, which needs to happen. We're going to find out tomorrow how badly it needs to happen with the CPI report, but nonetheless, we are not of the opinion that the Fed should take this opportunity to change anything about what they're doing with interest rates, even though these banks partially went under because of interest rate hikes. But you got to ask yourself, why only 2 or 3 banks? And I hate to use this cliche, but I'm going to. The answer, my friends, is crime. It truly is in this case. The apes have cried wolf for so long on crime that it's ridiculous now. But you absolutely had fraud in those cases from the management. So what can you do about that? You're going to have bad apples. That's not a systemic issue. And that has nothing to do with the fight against inflation. My 2 cents, but give them 100 fucking basis points. Let's shock them all out. Let's get another dozen banks to fail. Fuck it.
If it's still, let me tell you something. It's just a cleanup operation. That's all it is.
A cleanup operation. There it is. Oh shit. His fucking euphemisms are the best. Cleanup operation. I love it.
This is going to be more interesting. I'm seeing more banks go, oh my God, we can't. It just happened out of nowhere. For real? For real? Nope. It's time to make some money on that side. Giant Love, going to go get some pizza. No pineapples. That's a mortal sin. So at the end of the day, Giant Love, talk to you later.
Okay. Typical Lou video. Nothing said. Now, on this to something completely different. This guy's going to say a lot. You're going to be impressed.
What's up, man? It's Frank. Let me say I'm not a financial advisor. Anything that I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only. Whatever I say in this video is my opinion. May not necessarily be factual. Don't buy, sell, or hold a stock because of anything that I say in this video. Look, man, I just got through watching a video of Aron speaking to a group of investors. I guess they was out watching Creed 3. I was watching Common Sense Investor video. And let me tell you, man, when I watched the video, I'm going to let you hear about 6 minutes of in a few minutes. When I watched the video, man, I was pissed. I was really floored when I listened to what Aron has to say, man. He's such a coward.
I can't wait to hear this.
I don't see how y'all put no faith in this man. He's such a coward, bro. I swear. Look, he said that don't believe what you hear on Twitter. He said that.
Hey, hey, Aron agrees with me. Lynn, let me tell you, take a page out of Lynn's book here. Aron agrees with me. Don't listen to what you read on Twitter. Wow, what a coward! Only a coward would say that.
Market manipulation, failure to deliver the FTDs. He said that the neck is shorting. The billions of synthetic shares out there, that's not a problem for AMC. That's not the real problem. So in essence, what he was saying when you listen to him talk, he was saying that the problem with AMC is the pandemic, the effects the pandemic has had on the industry. And he said the problem was also they need better movies. He said that with AMC, it's only one problem. Those were the things that I just said. He said that stock market manipulation, synthetic shares, and illegal nickel short. He emphasized, he said, man, and the corruption is not a problem. He said, what we're saying as far as those things, he said, man, that's not a problem when it comes to AMC. And
Yeah, because he knows. He knows? I don't know. Seems like he would know.
see, man, look, that's why I know when he said that he sent that information out there to FINRA, it was all bullshit.
Of course it
He
was.
watched us on social media. He saw what we were saying, what the problem was. He's such a manipulative person, man. He's such a coward. He's such a liar. He's
Oh, not unlike you guys. Not unlike the AMC grifters. Not unlike the grifters. In fact, one could say that he is a grifter. This is interesting. Very
he
interesting.
saw, man, what we was putting out there, and he just said that because he wanted a yes vote. So why would he want to do anything?
Okay. Well, I could think of a few interesting comparisons to that, like all of the times when the apes, did this or that, pretending to be investors, pretending to be long-term investors when at the very first, you know, hint of a massive short squeeze, they're fucking gone. They don't care about the company and many other examples. Or how about when the stock price was higher, much higher, many times higher, and the company wanted to issue shares. And as I recall, and Lynn can back me up on this, we talked about this on this channel very, very early in this channel's history. We talked about that. We talked about how, yeah, you know what? For retail investors, this dilution is probably not the greatest thing, but for the company, but for the company and the company's well-being, obviously they need money. So who do you care about? And we even came up with a solution that both gave the company more shares and allowed them to raise capital and protected the rights of the shareholders and gave them first priority for those shares. Remember, Lynn? I don't know if you remember this, but we did. We came up with this. Me and um, Apish Bambino, Josh, and it was called. What was it called? It was called. Um, shit, I can't even remember what it was called now. But there was a way that they could issue shares, but offer them a preferred offering, um, priority offering, something like that, where they offer shares, maybe even at a discount to the existing shareholders. And we did a whole video, we did a stream, we did a discussion on this. And of course, I mean, it was pointless to do, but I mean, because it was, the point wasn't to actually get that to happen. The point was just to show, like, there are other ways of thinking about this and to kind of keep everybody's best interests in mind. But no, they didn't want that. Apes were very clear after the squeeze that they were gone. But the irony there, Lynn, is they had the squeeze, but they're not gone. A lot of them are not gone. So there it is. And a lot of them are not gone. Funny how that works. It's almost like they say one thing and do another, but that can't be.
Thing about corruption to the stock. If he don't believe it's having an effect on the stock, man, he would never do anything about the corruption that's going on in AMC because he said over and over again, man, he said it's not a problem. So, man, the stock didn't go from $74 to $5 because there was a problem with corruption. Now, corruption didn't have anything to do with that. Man, this guy right here, man, I swear, man, he's such a liar. He's a manipulator and he's a coward. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. You see what I'm saying? Look, I'm not trying
Keeping
to
it what? Keeping it what?
He's a coward. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. You see what I'm saying?
What did he say? I'm not familiar with that one.
He's a manipulator and he's a coward. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. You see what I'm
Keeping it a buck with you. Oh, okay. All right. I'm not hip to that one.
saying?
All right.
Look,
I'm going to use that.
I'm not trying to diminish
It's another way of saying keeping it 100.
the
Okay.
effects, man, that the pandemic had
I'm learning all kinds of
on
shit
the
here.
movie industry, on movie theaters. I'm not trying to minimize that. I get that. And we can always use good movies. But, man, let me tell you something. This man, he's a coward. He's a liar. He's a manipulator. The reason why he don't want to acknowledge that the corruption is having a big effect on the stock is because he don't want to do his damn job. He don't want to hurt his criminal billionaire hedge funds friend, 1%ers. So he feel like as long as he don't acknowledge it's a problem and he's saying it don't exist, there's not an issue with it, it puts him in a position, man, where he don't have to do his damn job. He's such a coward, man. I don't see how y'all worship this guy. I don't get it. And see, in reality, like I said, man, this guy, he only wants us to be a cash cow for AMC. That's it. He wants us to be in this stock.
Oh my God. He only wants you to be a cash cow for AMC. That's it. What can you even say to that? You're investing in a company. What do you think you're doing? Do you think that the CEOs are all about making you all rich? Give me a break. Again, a 12-year-old can understand this if, taught by somebody who knows. These people weren't taught by anybody who knows. That's a big problem here. Big problem. But unlike the 12-year-old, it is their responsibility to know this. 12-year-old doesn't have to know this yet. Doesn't ever have to know it. They should. I'd be better off if I knew it then. We all would. And that's a whole other discussion. Why don't we learn about finance? Whole other discussion. Shit, I mean, ask Lynn. Why don't we learn a lot of things? Ay, ay, ay. But there's no excuse for this ignorance. I'm sorry.
Man, just draining our account, getting all our money to the point to where he don't need us no more. Only
Then why don't you fight back? And I'm not saying fight back against naked short selling and stock market manipulation. No, get the fuck out of the stock. Give him a vote of no fucking confidence by selling your fucking stock and moving on to something that you can make money with. Is this really that big of a fucking revelation? Like, clearly you lost. Why are you still here? It makes no sense. But that we'll hear the typical, but they can't do this forever, but we're gonna win in the end somehow, even though there's no hope. And I'm so hopeless that I'm just talking random shit that makes no sense while I'm driving and singing. Makes no sense. Jesus Christ. There there never was a cause. This is the thing, Charlotte. That was a fiction. It was a fiction. I mean, it's very idealistic. And on some level there, there's if that were what it was about, Okay, but it wasn't about that. It was about punishing hedge funds for for betting against stores that closed during the pandemic, which that's a great trade. I wish I had done that. They made money because the price of the stock went down. They didn't go down because they were shorted. They went down because they literally locked their doors and they didn't take money from customers. That's the way the system works. The cause is completely false. The cause is based on a lack of understanding of the way that the system works. And if you don't like the system, okay, you can not like the system, but you're not going to change the system by participating in it. That's a kind of a big thing. No real fundamental change. Very few fundamental changes to systems are made from within those systems. It's why we had an American Revolution that was illegal. It was an illegal thing that they did under British law, for example. Like, that's what I mean by being outside the system. How are you losing money and just continuing to lose money and not ever realizing that you're just losing money and that you're not contributing to a greater cause at all? I mean, that is a circus. That is a circus. I mean, the reality is you have to look at it this way. The people that started this, Heath Gill, and then the people that furthered it and expanded it to all these other stocks. So Keith Gill, Trey, Matt, Short the VIX, all these guys, all the original grifters, they all made out and they're all gone. What does that say? What does that say about a cause? I mean, if I were an ape, God help me. If I were an ape, I would be looking at those guys. I would be coming back on them. And I would be doing some real soul searching and asking myself, what the fuck did I do? And how can I learn from this? How can I turn it around and make it a positive in my life? But this ain't the way right here. This is not the way. Not the way.
The thing he doing, man, he's
But I just wanted, the notion that this was some kind of fight for fairness. I think that that's completely false. You know, unfortunately. And like I said, underneath that somewhere is some type of, if it were true, if that were really what we're about, why would it also involve them getting filthy rich and saying that they should be paid $1 million for each of their shares? If they wanted a fair system, is that fair? If they wanted who's going to pay that? Who's going to pay that? If it was a fair system, wouldn't they say, you know what? I don't want it. I don't want to get paid. I don't want any money for the shares. I just want the system to be better. That would be if it were a real cause. That's what would happen. Nobody who's out there actually fighting for just causes is saying, I want this to get better and I want $1 million. No, that's not how it works. It was false from the beginning. All right.
using us, making 1%ers rich because they getting rich off of all the criminal activity and nothing being done about it. They getting rich out. They getting rich and our
No, they're getting rich because you keep dumping your money into the stock. If you hadn't kept buying in, yeah.
portfolio is getting slaughtered, and he's not going to do anything about it. He don't even think it's a problem, man. This man is a coward. He's a straight up coward. I'm
Well, he
sorry,
didn't
man.
pay for
He don't
those
want to see
shares,
us have a
so
Moass.
what would he
Man, I'm
care?
done with dude. I'm done with him. I don't care how many people say they don't like me, how many people hate me because they say I talk about him, man. I don't give a damn, man. I'm done with dude. I'm through. But here's what common sense, this common sense investor.
What's up, everybody? It's Common Sense Investor.
Man, I'm done with dude, bro.
Did this video be What's up, everybody? It's the Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video. This video, people, I just sat through a 36-minute lie fest, is the only way I can describe it. That Aron gave a speech in front of an audience of Creed 3 for 36 minutes. Now, I knew when I seen that, how long it was, I said, oh, this is going to be good. Because the longer people talk, the more they reveal. And man, the shit that this man said out of his mouth, if you voted yes, you need to be kicked in the head by a horse. Simple as that. I want you to listen to the very first thing he says concerning synthetics, FTDs, and market manipulation. In the first minute, I was floored. Listen to this shit.
Guys, don't believe everything you read on Twitter. Yes, it's true that we have a lot of short sellers who have sold our shares short. But all the stuff that you read about market manipulation and failed delivers and all this other stuff, and you're going
Whoops, whoopsie. That guy is so high. Me or Adam Aaron or CS must be CSI. That's all I said. I didn't see my big red mute button here. Whoop. I didn't see my big red mute button, so I gotta say it doesn't happen as often as it used to. It used to happen a lot. I would be sitting here and they would see the mouse going and I'd be pulling up other things, pointing to stuff and highlighting stuff, and they'd hear nothing, and I'd just be talking and talking and talking, and Model 3 dude or Manny would be like, muted. Okay.
shares out there.
So thanks, Ron.
That's not our problem.
So you can see from the very first minute of this interview, I'm laid out. I'm like, what the fuck did he just say? That you can't believe what you hear on Twitter, which of course you can't, but you can believe the DD they put on Twitter. And the fact that Mark...
No, I'm pretty sure he's... I'm pretty sure he said he did not say you can trust the DD on Twitter. I mean, Twitter DD is some garbage. What's worse, Twitter or Reddit? Well, I don't know. There's a lot of cross-pollination, but holy crap.
Of course you can't, but you can believe the DD they put on Twitter. And the fact that market manipulation and the FTDs and the billions of synthetic shares out there, that's not our problem. And then he says this later on.
Our problem is one thing and one thing only. I want to take you back in time. Back in 2019, none of us had ever heard the word COVID-19. And AMC was the largest movie theater chain in the world. Still is, by the way. But the movie industry was a lot bigger in 2019. The basic size of our industry is measured in what's called the domestic box office. That's all theaters, all brands, all companies, all across the United States and Canada, the domestic box office. For 5 years in a row, from 2015 to 2019, the domestic box office was not less than $11 billion.
I'm going to pause it right here because it's so weird to me that he mentioned 2019. It is so weird that he would mention to me that he would mention 2019. Why? Well, I'll show you momentarily. Let me just get this queued up here. Okay. Why is it weird that he would mention 2019? This is why. So here's AMC's income statement. Here's 2019 here. And what do we see in 2019? Earnings per share negative $1.44. The change from the previous year, 2018, they made 91 cents per share in 2018. In 2019, they lost $1.44 per share. Their profit margin went negative. And that was really the beginning of this, what happened. So now he just said that the domestic box office, how they measure their industry, and it was not less than 11 billion every year from 2015 to 19. Yet in 2019, they lost money. They lost money. Their net income was $150 million negative. What happened? What happened? Or as Charlie's vids would say, what doing? What doing? Maybe he'll explain that, but I just thought that was curious because that's really the pivotal year where things really started to change. And there were some random losses here and there before that, but they what changed was they got really deep into debt. Like the smoke is getting him in too deep. The debt got them in too deep. Now I don't think Charlotte was talking about AMC there.
11 billion plus. Some years 11.1, some years 11.9, some years 11.4, always over 11 billion. COVID comes in 2020.
Oh my God, Ant Card, how dare you say something so hurtful? You know what? That's it. I'm done. This stream's over. Nobody cares. I'm done. Nobody cares. Why do you think I would care? You don't think I've been hearing that for 2 fucking years? I don't give a fuck how many viewers there are, okay? Only a moron would care how many viewers they get. Especially, and this is important, especially if they are trying to correct the misinformation, like all of this garbage that gets put out here every fucking day. There is not a single channel in this list here that is actually looking at facts. So you know what? I could give a good goddamn what people think because nobody, and I'll say it again, nobody is looking at this shit the way we look at it here. Nobody. Nobody on YouTube. Show them to me. If so, and if you think that it's a bad thing that somebody is looking at things from a different angle, you are fucked in the market. You might as well just give up now because you don't belong in the stock market, my friend. You don't. Some bullshit. Thank you, Lynn, for getting rid of that garbage here. Table Rock guy. I care because I'm down 36K. 36K. Thank you. And man, I mean, some people who have losses are trying to learn and figure stuff out, and other people go into a chat and say stupid shit like that. Like, whoa, how immature, how fucking retarded. Go back to Reddit. Eat another blue crayon. Jesus Christ. All right.
And in the span of a week, we had to shut all of our theaters, every single one.
What he's doing right here,
in more than a dozen countries.
this is so interesting too. What he's doing is he is validating the short thesis on AMC. 100%. He's telling you why there were so many short sellers. $11 billion to zero. You have to close your doors. The revenue went down to zero, essentially. What's going to happen to the stock price? You got to be crazy if you think that people are not going to take advantage of that decline, natural decline. That's not because of short selling, folks. That's because they closed their doors. But that's not what the Moass narrative is. Okay. Needs to be validating the short thesis.
And that year, 2020, do you know what the domestic box? And our theaters were shut, by the way, on March 16. They didn't really open up again until Labor Day, and that was just some of the theaters. The theaters in New York and California didn't open up until early in 2021. You know what the domestic box office was in 2020? Remember, so that's not good. This flickering power, this has been going on all night. It's the snow outside.
Yeah, we don't need that.
But from what I've been told, it like only flickers for like 1 to 10 seconds, then it comes back on. It's a problem if we're in the middle of the movie, but we're not yet in the middle of the movie. So there we go. We'll see what happens when the movie starts. Anyway, the box office was over 11 billion in 2019. It was $2.2 billion in 2020. It was down 82.
Me. Well, you saw what I showed. He said 2.2. This says Box Office Mojo says 2.113, but the rest of these years were 11 billion from 2015 to 2019, and really he could have said from 2009 2019 it was no less than 10. That would have probably been more impactful. But anyway, sorry. God damn it, Ron.
Percent.
I'm not muting myself this time.
And if you're a big company, and AMC's a big company, like we're not the biggest, we're not like General Motors, like in Detroit, or Ford. We're a pretty big company.
Biggest movie company.
Mexico.
You know, when you lose 80% of your revenues in a week, big companies weren't designed for that. We have fixed costs. We had leases. We've got rent to pay on 1,000 theaters, and we've got employees to pay. And we've got all sorts of fixed costs all over the place. You can't turn
Debt.
the air conditioning and the heat off for 5 months when the theaters are closed. And there was one, we know that because one of our competitors tried that. And they turned the heat and the power off and the air conditioning off for 5 months. And when they were ready to reopen, they had mold all over the entire building, and they literally have to gut the building to the studs. It's $11 million worth of damage because they turned off the electricity in one building. We have 1,000 buildings. Can you imagine if we did that? Anyway, so
Blame the landlord.
we started to bleed cash. And the box office has gotten bigger, but it's not big enough yet. We are on a road to recovery, but the recovery is slow. So remember, the box office
Yeah, I
was
mean-
$11.4 billion in 2019.
Okay. Yeah, we don't need him to tell us this, really, but it was 11 billion in 2019. It was 2 in 2020. It was 4 in 2021, 7 in 2022, and 1.3 so far in 2023. Now, that to me, let's look at quarters here. Okay, Q1 2023, 1.3. Now, what it should be is closer to 2.5 to 3. Well, yeah, over 2. It was slightly over last year's quarter one, but it's not looking, at least so far, it's not looking to be that much better so far. Now, of course, you have to understand, now we're in a different economic climate. So we went from COVID to super high inflation last year, and now, you know, this super high interest rate climate. Not that I'm saying it's a cause and effect thing, but there are different challenges this year. It's not like the old one went away and it's like it just kind of got transferred into something different. Okay. He's probably just going to go through those numbers again.
It was $2.2 billion in 2020. The good news in 2021, it more than doubled. It was $4.5 billion. But $4.5 billion is an $11 billion. And in 2022,
that's true, Tony. I agree.
The box office grew again by about 2/3.
And he's not going to say that, obviously. He's not going to say, well, we got an old business model, and we've been doing the same thing for 100 years. But we got these new seats, and but popcorn. No. But no, you're right, Tony.
And it was $7.4 billion. $7.4 billion is a lot more than $4.5 billion. But it's a lot less than $11.4 billion. And so we're still going to bleed cash. If a company that's designed to be strong in an $11.5 billion industry is sitting in a $7.5 billion industry. So we have only one problem. And it's not market manipulation, and it's not synthetic shares, and it's not naked shorting, and it's not all the things that you read on Twitter. It's this. We need more.
Boom.
Because if we have more movies, we'll have more moviegoers. And if we have more moviegoers, we'll have more revenues. And if we have more revenues, we'll make a profit instead of a loss. It's that simple.
Now I'm going to interject something right here. He just said the market.
Wait. Oh, I got confused. I was like, I thought we went to the real video. Well, we did because we went away from this one. Excuse me. God damn. Fuck.
Market manipulation, the synthetic shares, the billions of synthetic shares, and all of this. This is not a problem. The problem is we need more movies. If we get more movies, we get more revenue. It's as simple as that. Okay. Look at what he just tweeted, all right, on March 11th, which was yesterday. A tidal wave of new fun and big movies will open in March and April, starting with Scream 6 this weekend, then Shazam! Fury of the Gods, John Wick Chapter 4, and Dungeons and Dragons. And that is just March releases. So many April movies, it's like the good old days pre-pandemic. And March tidal wave becomes a tsunami in big movies in April. The Super Mario Brothers movie, Air, The Pope's Exorcist, Mafia Mama, Renfield, The Covenant, Big George Foreman, and so forth. Several many more, all right? So, movies, as of this month and next month, we have a shitload of movies coming out, and he's talking about how great they're going to do. Let's continue listening.
And fortunately, it looks like finally we're going to get some movies in 2023. And that's why when I looked at that trailer package, I don't know, you were seeing like actors and special effects. I was seeing dollar signs all across the screens. And like I'm thinking, how many people are going to go see that Indiana Jones movie? Everybody.
Fast and Furious.
And I don't know how many people are going to go see the Michael Jordan movie called Air.
Yeah.
But everybody should. That's the best trailer I've seen in years.
Yep.
That movie is going to be phenomenal. Just phenomenal. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so encouraged. Because we're going to have movies again in 2023. Here's what happened, and it started about a year ago. In December of 21, when the movie Spider-Man No Way Home came out from Sony. It was the 7th biggest, highest grossing movie of all time. in the 110-year history of cinema. 7th biggest. And it was followed a couple of months later by other movies that were big. Then came Memorial Day weekend. God bless Tom Cruise. I have seen Top Gun Maverick 5 times, literally 5 times. And the 5th time was on an airplane going out to Los Angeles last week. It's much better on the big screen, by the way. Much. But it's still pretty good on the airplane screen. And the reason I watched it, I was going out to LA to attend a dinner where Tom Cruise was getting a Lifetime Achievement Award for his entire career.
From Scientology?
You know, it would be poetic. If I'm
He's
going
getting a
to
Scientology award? Wait, Adam Aron's a Scientologist? Is that what I just heard?
For his incredible career, which the
No.
biggest movie he's ever done in his career is Top Gun Maverick. I should watch Top Gun Maverick again. It's the 5th time. I knew every word. I knew every plot twist. I loved the movie again.
I think that okay. He loves that movie. He loves him some Tom Cruise. Okay, I don't care about the rest of this. I just wanted to hear that because we were trying to find that, and I was told that the crime scene investigation team had it. That the crime scene investigation team, as in, you know what crime I'm talking about. So, all right. So, do we really need to hear what Frankie says about this at the end? Well, he just lets it play. All right. Now, I want to go back to something that Table Rock guy said here. Anything people have been long on in the past 2 years is down, like every sector. If you're up on long positions the past year, you're the best investor in the world. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. So, um, I want to, this is not like really an investing advice channel or anything like that. Um, this isn't a disclaimer. I'm just saying, I'm just simply stating that that's not what we do. I don't typically analyze stocks on the channel and tell people, "Oh, this looks like it would be something good to buy. You should think about buying this." But I will show something here that I found. I'm just sharing something that I found that I came across the other day, yesterday, watching various videos and listening to people. So um, let me save this and then go back to my other layout here so I can show just one thing. So that's Credit Suisse. We don't care about that. But here's the SPY. Here's the S&P 500. And for this purpose, I'm just going to look at year to date. You'll see why in a minute. I just want to look at year to date. So year to date, and I'm going to switch to percentage here. So this is the year to date. It's going to put the beginning of the year all the way on the left. So now we can use this percentage scale to see how this has performed over the last year. So it says it's up 26%. It says it's up 0.26%, 0.26%. So the SPY is up basically 0.25% on the year. So essentially it's flat for all intents and purposes. So the SPY is flat. This is an ETF that I found out about yesterday. It's called TAC. The ticker is TAC, TACK, Tango Alpha Charlie Kilo, TAC, like a thumbtack. This ETF is actually up almost 1.5% year to date. Okay, just comparing that, obviously, compare that with the SPY. You could see that TAC is up almost 0.5%, whereas the SPY is up 0.25%. The reason why we only looked at the year to date on this is because TAC is new. It's a new ETF, and really it started, when did it trade? It started trading, I think, last April of 22. So it's down 4.25% from when it started trading in April of 22. If we look at the S&P over that period of time, the S&P is down right around 15%. from April 22 to date. So this appears to be a kind of a cool ETF. Yeah, I was looking at it yesterday. It's administered by Fair Lead Funds. I had never heard of Fair Lead Funds, but I had heard of the portfolio manager. Her name is Katie Stockton, and she is widely regarded as one of the best analysts out there. Um, I'm sure that some people may have heard of her. She goes on Bloomberg and whatnot. So whatever. But I've, kind of not really followed her, but just she tends to be fairly right. She she seems to be, fairly with it in terms of um, figuring out what potentially is going on in the market. And when I found out that she had this ETF that started trading last year, I wanted to look at it. Um, so I did, and that's what I found was that it's beating the market at this point. Um, that doesn't mean that it will, but if, just as some other ideas of other things that people could trade. So, or buy and hold if that's what you're into. So if you look at what these holdings are, this is the top 10 holdings in this. Well, it's not top 10. It's, is it top few holdings here in this ETF. So um, this is a long-term treasury ticker, an exchange traded note. So this has exposure to long-term treasuries, treasury bonds. That's 31%. Another 30% is short-term treasuries. So like bills, treasury bills. These are SPDRs, so the same people that do the S&P 500 ETFs and all the sector ETFs. SPDR gold shares, 22%. Gold. What's gold done? Energy sector. Hell of a pretty decent sector to be in right now, 11% in US dollars, because the dollar has been strong. I would be willing to bet that this has come down a little bit. This percentage is 4% here. So this is an interesting mix of assets that would tend to do better in an economy like what we have now. So this is a an actively managed ETF that is kind of interesting to me. So this is something that you could be long on and beat the market, at least from April until now, almost a year. That's what the data seem to show. So I like this. This is pretty cool. Doesn't mean I'm buying it or anything like that. I might trade it or something, but who knows? Um, but of course, um, the best thing, in my opinion, is to be able to be long and short, because then you can um, have exposure, to a lot of different things in different ways, obviously. So I don't like that I just said obviously twice in the last 5 minutes. But anyway, the L word, long. Hey, okay, now let me just say this. You could be long. Um, what is it? It's oh shit, what is it? What is it? It's oh shit. God damn it. I haven't traded this. SPXU. Is it SPXU? Yes, SPXU. This is an inverse S&P 500 ETF. So this is your other option for going long. And I did just say the L word again. Let's do what? Let's go from the beginning of 22. Roughly the beginning of 22. So, and if we overlay the actual S&P here on here, we can see that it's an inverse mirror image. So as the S&P goes up, this ETF goes down, but as the SPY goes down, this thing goes up. So this is as a long, this is technically it's a long asset. You're buying it and you're buying a long position, but the ETF is inversely exposed. So you would be up 34% right now buying and holding this thing. Now, you don't necessarily want to buy and hold this um, necessarily. Um, I don't know if this is, I don't know if this is levered. I don't know how this works, but I've just traded it before. Um, but this is a long position. That's really a short position. So you have exposure to the short side. That's kind of cool. Um, and then of course you got things like, um, T triple Q, for example, which, whew, you know, this is the um, inverse levered. Uh, I think it's levered, or the S triple Q. So that one is long. This one is short. Now, let me show you, since we are just whatever looking at these tickers here. Let me show you my favorite pair of ETFs, long and short. This is also new. So we've got LGEM, which is the long cramer ETF tracker. So they actually, and I listened to an podcast interview, whatever, on Bloomberg the other day about this. And there's been a lot of talk about it, but the guy that actually runs it was talking about how he and two other guys, I think, two or three other people, actually watch all of Kramer's segments. They read everything that he writes. Anything that has Jim Cramer's name on it, they read it. And they pull out what he recommends, and then that gets added to the long. And then on the in SGEM, they do the opposite. So if he says go long, they go short. They say if Kramer says short, they go long. Inverse Jim Cramer ETF, which, by the way, is up 2.125% since it started trading last Thursday. Isn't that something? So right now, doing the opposite of Kramer is better than doing what Kramer says, which is down 4%. Interesting. I like that too. That's kind of fun. And they um, manage this, so they update it. So if he takes something, changes, they change. And if he, whatever, if he keeps it in, they keep it in. They actively manage it like that. So there's another interesting ETF. I also heard about these single stock ETFs. Now I don't know who had those. Rex, I think it was Rex had, yeah. So they have these products here. So let's check out their products. Check out our exciting products. Okay, products, Fang Plus, for example. So Fang Plus gives you Meta, Amazon, Tesla, Snow, Microsoft, all these wonderful companies that are doing so well. So this is what FNGU. So they have the long version and they have the short version, U and D. So FNGU year to date. This is the regular and FNGD. No, yes, of course, because of what has happened this year so far. This is actually down almost 50%. So this is like a 3x inverse. So FNGU is 3x long, and FNGD is 3x short. So they have some things like this. So they also have 1x, 2x, etc. Or you can go, gold, whatever. I thought they had single. Who is the one that has single stock ETF? They have like a, you can, yeah, right here. Let's say I want to do I'm super, super bearish on Apple. Direction, okay. So there is a 1.5 levered Apple APP UND. So okay, so APPU. What was it? APLU? No, maybe they're AAP. Oh, AAP, like AARP, because I'm getting old. AAPU. There we go. So this is a bullish 1.5x exposure on Apple. So what does that mean? How does it compare to what Apple would return? Well, of course, these lines are going to be identical on here uh, because it's scaling them to the same. There we go. So if you bought Apple on January 3rd, it'd be up 15.5% right now. AAPU, however, is up 22%, 1.5 times. So let me give you the one that I'm more interested in here, APPD. Yeah, I know it's down 13%. Okay, I know it's down 13%. Now this is bear 1x, so that's literally following it. Now, why would you want to trade that versus the stock? Well, that's getting into a whole other discussion that I'm not getting into now. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff out there to trade. That's the only thing I'm saying here. And here is one bit of advice, and this is life advice, really, is that you should never really pigeonhole yourself. You should never put artificial limits on yourself in whatever it is. You know, obviously, God, there I go again with the O word. But it it seems to me that uh, you know, we can't predict where we're going to be, what we're going to be doing, or any of that. So what we're going to be investing in the future. But if you artificially tell yourself or limit yourself or whatever, allow yourself to be placed in containerized into something where, and I'm not saying anybody here is doing this, but a lot of people are doing this. Um, I'm in GameStop, I'm in AMC, I'm in whatever. And then you find out that that's all they're in. And they put themselves in this box. They've limited themselves. And I'm telling you, I'm a trader. I'm a speculator. I like short-term trading. That's what's exciting to me. That's what I do most of the time if I'm trading. But I work a full-time job, so it's not like 2021 anymore where I could just trade and make videos and stay up all night. I can't do that anymore. But it's that short-term nature of things. Um, watching watching the markets, you know, all the stuff that goes along with short-term speculative trading on stock indices like the Nasdaq and whatnot, S&P 500. So that's what I like. Um, I find myself trading fewer and fewer tickers. There's about three or four that I trade. Um, I didn't really foresee that when I started trading options a few years ago, but I like short-term large profits. So, um, what can I say? I like to make money. Um, so nor did I think I would be trading options the way that I do now. And there's just a lot of different things. What one thing that it seems like to me is that there really is like I say that there's an infinite amount of opportunity every day. Some days more than others, but that's why you can't just trade one ticker. That's why you have a few that if you're a trader, um, there's always something that you can use to make money if you want to. So it really, it doesn't bother me. I don't care really, but I mean, I've just been through a lot of this before. Now, it wasn't during the meme stock thing really necessarily, although I've learned a lot through this period. But I mean, I'm not like some amazing trader or investor, but I've managed to be profitable, especially, over a period of time that's been highly volatile. And what you learn is you can take advantage of that volatility. Just like people who shorted AMC and GameStop took advantage of that at that time, which was had different fundamental reasons, but nonetheless, it was volatility. So, I guess I'm just saying, it's it's unfortunate that so many people are so stuck on something that has not made them money. And I mean, you can give me all the promises in the world you want for what's going to happen tomorrow, but nobody knows. Nobody can predict it. We can look at probabilities, we can look at data. And when you look at that data, probability is low that this is going to return anything for anybody. I mean, that's just the way, I mean, there is definitely an element of analysis that's subjective. Don't get me wrong. There is definitely an element that to varying degrees can be subjective and is dependent on someone's opinion or pre-bias. But uh, we try really hard to minimize that. That's what you have to do as an investor, as a trader, as someone in the market. You have to try to be as objective as you can. Minimize those biases, minimize those outside influences that are, it's telling you, "Oh God, I hate Apple." There's no, I'm not going to trade Apple. I hate Apple. In fact, I'm going to short it. Well, that gets you in trouble. Uh, I know because I do hate Apple. Okay, I'll admit it. I fucking hate Apple. I hate everything about Apple. I hate the stock. I hate the company. I hate the CEO. I hate everything. Everything about it. I don't like it. Okay. That's an opinion. That's my opinion. And yeah, it's based on experiences and everything from way before I was ever in the stock market. So maybe it'd be different now, but nonetheless, you have to minimize that. If Apple's, you know, if you come across it and it's one of those days where Apple just keeps going up and up and up and up, that's an opportunity. It doesn't matter that I don't like it. Some of the best traders or chart analysts that I've listened to, they say things like, I don't care what the ticker is. It doesn't matter to me. I prefer not to know what chart I'm looking at. I don't want to know. They you they don't want to know because it doesn't matter if you're just looking at the chart. If you're not just looking at the chart, well, it matters. But yeah, so the worst thing I think that people can do is not to be, you know, diversified and always trying to learn and grow. And that cannot happen if you're only looking at one thing. It, by definition, it cannot happen. So go out, people need to go lose some money on something else. Think about that one. Go lose some money on another stock. It'll feel good. I'm not even kidding because that's where you're going to learn. That's how you're going to learn. Um, and you have to embrace the losses. They say that traders, remember every loss, but not or don't remember any winners. The losses are what stick with you, not the gains, and that's true. If it's going to be true, sadly, for a lot of apes, they're going to have some shit to deal with. But hey, is it going to are you going to do it again? And the answer should be no. The correct answer there is no. And it sounds like I'm joking about it and I'm minimizing the impact in people's lives. I'm not, but that's not my problem. But at the end of the day, you know, here's the deal. Listen, I'm gonna do a Johnny. Where is Donnie anyway? We haven't seen Donnie George. We need to lighten this shit up. But listen, or look, look, listen. Okay, 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 Dad. Okay, Dad. Okay, 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 Boomer. Okay. Um, you know, here's the deal. Let me do my Dr. Phil. Look, here's the deal. Okay, you're an asshole. Wait a minute. Look. Here's the deal.
You're being a little bitch.
Um. Okay. All right. All right. Court's in session. Okay. What I saw was when you search for AMC and you filter it by upload date. That's all I ever do. This is what you get. And I saw one side. I see one side here. And one of those things that people in the market old farts say is that when everybody's on the same side of the trade, you need to be looking at the other side. I don't know if that's the actual phrase. I'm sure there's an actual phrase, but um, I think I looked it up already. I don't know who said it, but and this brings up the idea of contrarianism, which is kind of another thing that I play around with. The idea of what are most people doing? I'm going to do the opposite. At its basic core, that's what we're talking about. What is the overall sentiment? I want to be against that because human psychology, human behavior, you know, hints at very strongly a lot of times that what is popular is not right. This is a- that, you know, why? Because they're wrong about their investing idea. So when everybody's on the same side of the trade, that's a reason to be a little concerned about that side of the trade maybe and maybe look at the other side or at least not buy it, not buy into that same side. Now, of course, it's not always the case and this and that, and sometimes it seems like everybody is on the same side, but they're not, and you have to worry about all that kind of stuff and bias and all the same things. But nonetheless, I saw the same side here. I didn't see anybody saying, "Wait a minute, this naked shorting thing has never actually been proven." And they even admit that they can't prove it. But then why is it a central point? Why is it a central tenet of this argument? That cannot be. If you can't prove that it's true, why would you assume that it's true and use it as the basis for these decisions? That makes absolutely no sense to me. That's illogical. That's not a good way to invest. Well, I mean, that's what these kids were saying on YouTube. But everybody was on the same side of this. Nobody was saying, "Hey, wait a minute." Nobody was looking at what they said and actually, uh, well, I don't have anything up here right now, but paused the videos and interjected and fact checked. Like, okay, where is he getting this article from? I mean, I used to chase down articles that Short the VIX put short the VIX would put out because he would always cut off the top of it. You would never be able to tell what he was reading. And he would start in the middle of articles. You wouldn't even see the title sometimes. And he would come back to these articles over and over and use them as central points of support in his arguments, if you can call them that. They weren't arguments. It's verbal diarrhea. And I would pause the fucking video and go literally type in the words that I saw on the screen in the paragraph to find the articles. and I would find them and read them in full and look at the context. Because I'm sorry, if you're not looking at if you think it's okay for somebody to go into the middle of an article and not put it in context, okay? Here's an article. Investigators were trying to determine the reason for the kidnapping. Yep, see guys? There and then they would use that as the basis to prove something. No, that's not logical. That is not valid. Nobody here was saying that. And still, look, nobody's saying that. Nobody. I thought that Morant's Rants was. And I have to say, that guy, he is the same as all of these fuckers, if not worse. It just goes on and on and on every day. And we're still in 1 day ago. This is 1 day ago, 2 days ago, finally, every day for almost 2 years. No, over 2 years. I mean, it wasn't the same 2 years ago. 2 years ago, this was not the same. This changed after January 2nd, 3rd, 2021, and really changed in August, July, August. Really started to change. The narrative changed, the tone of these grifters changed, the way that they talked about it changed. What they said also slightly changed. They had a Congress. They convened a Congress in Kansas in, I believe, July of 2021. We call it the Kansas 5 Summit. But, 5 of these grifters, including Trey, masked investor, short the VIX, review dork, and Rogue the Legacy, who never was anybody in this thing, and now is not even, who knows, not even on YouTube anymore. They all met and they put out a video together where they basically, it was like a cult initiation video. I'm sure a lot of people here remember that, but anyway, it changed. It changed into this, this whole thing because the reality is here that there was an opportunity. Oh, the AMC YouTubers, they knew about it. Yeah, they knew about it and they took the opportunity. But they were not forthcoming with their audience about what they did. That's the other thing is holding these guys accountable in some way. Somebody has to be calling them out. I mean, this is ridiculous. And now, so many of them have left. They've literally left. So it's largely a different group of people, except for like Benji here. What do you call him, Len? The human squeaky toy. I mean, listen to this guy. Listen to this garbage. This is the second result that came up.
AMC is a hedge against a bank crash. While banks are failing, AMC apes are buying up AMC's perfectly
Human squeaky toy. It's perfect. Absolutely. Oh, okay. AMC is the hedge against a bank crash. Is that so? Really? Oops. Whoops. Whoops. AMC is the hedge against a bank crash. Well, let's see how that holds up. Well, what are we going to use? I don't know. We could use XLF. That's the financial sector. It's more than just banks. There are some bank ETFs. We could use anything. I mean, there's a NASDAQ sub-index here, or bank. We could just use that since it's just banks. Let's just compare bank. Oh, well, that, hmm, wait a minute. I thought this was supposed to be a hedge. If that was the case, wouldn't that mean that AMC should be going that way? How is this a hedge against bank crash, failure, whatever, which is totally a fiction anyway, right? We're not We're not having massive bank crashes. We're not having a financial crisis while banks are failing. Apes are buying up AMC Perfectly Popcorn by the carload. We are watching everything unfold while enjoying delicious snacks. AMC is a survival story of the century. I mean, you got to be kidding me. And this guy put out a video about this. This is what he made a video about. What? Oh, this is an old classic. This is something I've been talking about for almost 2 years. Because again, I know what OBV is. I know it as an indicator. I knew it as an indicator before any of these people even had an account at Robinhood. Like, that's so you can imagine how frustrating it might be for somebody who sees this blatant misuse of an indicator and not a single person. I have not seen one person ever call them out on the misuse of on-balance volume. It's disgusting. And I've done videos and I've done streams and I talk until I'm blue in the face. Look, you're not using it right. That's not what it tells you. It does not tell you that nobody has sold. You know how you know that? Because these candles, which they have as white, it's a nice psychological trick. You don't like red? Well, change it to white. That means that there's been selling. And that's telling you the price went down, and the only way the price goes down is if people sell, is if shares are sold at least. So, but even just technically, like that's not what it tells you. It doesn't tell you that. How could it tell you that? The market doesn't know who has what shares. It just doesn't. It's not designed to tell you that. And we throw a saying around here that if it's obvious, it's obviously wrong. And there's a great irony here that the gentleman that created this indicator back in the 60s is a guy named Joe Granville, and he said that is a quote from him. I don't know if I think it's from one of his books, which I can't find online. I have to actually go to the library. But he created on balance volume, and he also coined the saying or the quote at least, if it's obvious, it's obviously wrong. And that's saying the same thing that we said a minute ago with the being on the same side of the trade. Because if it's obvious to everybody, then it's obviously not the case because that's not how it works most of the time. Again, it's probabilities. But I mean, this is some fundamental stuff. I mean, nobody needs to know how on balance volume works. It's not even really that popular of an indicator, which is why I think the apes could hijack it and misuse it, and nobody cares. Well, I care. I fucking care because I know what this means, and this is not what this means. And I'll be goddamned if these motherfuckers are going to poison people with this misinformation. It's not happening. It is happening, but it's not happening without me fucking raising my voice about it. Because it's absurd. It's been happening every day for 2 years. Oh, they called TD Ameritrade. Great. You're such an adult.
Regulators on blast for not protecting retail. Report clear illegal activities like
Here we go. This is going to be useful.
So make sure to check on that before it's too late. What we need to do is put regulators on blast for not protecting retail. Report clear illegal activities like naked shorting. Outside the reg show.
How would you know that? Okay. This is what we call disingenuous. This is not something that this is not retail investors' responsibility, nor is it something that they could know clearly. It's just not. It's not. I mean, this person has been central in this grift. I don't say this lightly when I say this guy belongs in jail. This crystal ball guy, he is committing securities fraud, in my opinion. A lot of these people are. They're manipulating retail investors to buy securities. I have no doubt.
Exceptions.
What is the irony? He's telling you to report it, telling you to report illegal activity. I mean, the irony is not lost on me.
Then, when nothing is done,
Paid bashing. Wow. What about paid pumping? What about relentless pumping? What about pumping with misinformation? What about misinterpreting indicators, probably on purpose? But nonetheless, you didn't take the time to learn it. You just saw something and you made something up. What about that? What about all of this shit?
expose the regulators' inaction. This will galvanize support for the apes. Because if we don't
it won't.
They can say we never told them and play dumb, like they don't know what's going on, involving all the naked shorting and all the paid bashing. The short and distort campaigns have been out of control lately. We need to prove that we've tried and that they are complicit. The proof of the regulatory actions, complicity in their inaction with AMC. The proof is in the regulators' complicity.
Jesus Christ.
The inaction.
Fucking can't even fucking read, and then you just try to read it again. How pathetic. That's garbage. Okay? That's garbage. Complete garbage. Oh my God. Yeah, crystal ball. That person, guy, whatever. Total fucking fraud. AMC stock forced liquidation coming. Oh, good. Just what we want, a forced liquidation. Does he not know what? Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't even. I can't. Forced liquidation. Sweet. Right? A forced liquidation. That sounds great. Does it? Liquidation? Do they know what that means? Jesus. Tomorrow is going to be massive. The creative investor. That is a creative take. I'm actually disappointed at the shit that's out here tonight. This is pretty disappointing. But wouldn't be right if we didn't play Donnie.
Just enough financial.
Yeah, it is a stripper name. Crystal Ball.
Purpose only. Anything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any
financial decisions. No.
Hit the like button, subscribe button, all that YouTube algorithm stuff, so you get the videos I put them out. See them thinking, see them analyzing that data. But like I tell you every day, the day they release is false. False narrative. False. You can make bad trading decisions. Listen,
I don't know.
Everyone knows by now that tomorrow is the reverse split vote day.
Oh man, that is a look of skepticism if I ever seen one. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that face of this guy has the best fucking faces. Lou has the best euphemisms. Donahue George has the best faces. This guy he has the best animated faces. If I could draw, I would make a caricature of this guy. He would be a great fucking street caricature. Holy shit. You know what? That's the first thing I'm printing on when I get my 3D printer. I'm going to print out and I'm going to make them available for sale on my store, which I don't have, but I will. Limited Scott Allen edition Rifter figurines. Oh yeah. and limited Scott Allen edition physical AMC. I own AMC NFTs. Only available here. And it might not say AMC. It might say some weird thing that looks like AMC that, like, from one of Lynn's AI images. But you'll know what it is. You'll know. All right. Yeah, I'm selling them. Selling them, Tony.
I'm not telling you to vote yes.
Fuck
I'm not telling you
yes.
to vote no. You have to do your DD and come to your own conclusion. But I will tell you this.
Okay.
I believe that the vote is rigged.
Oh,
I believe that
the vote's rigged. I haven't heard that before. The vote's rigged. What are they using? What's that company? Diebold voting machines.
Aron sold and Tara those ape shares at that beautiful reduced price because he wanted to obligate them to vote for the reverse split, thereby intentionally diluting our vote. And it could even be said that he
Well, this is what the lawsuit concerns. Okay. You saying it doesn't make it true. It's literally in a court of law right now. So I don't know why you're trying to front run the court here. That it'll be decided by somebody smarter than you and me. So, and Delaware is good at that shit. Delaware is really good at that shit, usually. So I'm not really worried about it. I don't need your non-legal advice opinion, and no, neither do the apes. You know, I mean, seriously, haven't you filled their head with enough garbage? He's sitting in that chair. See, he's sitting and farting into this chair here, rattling off some bullshit from the top of his fucking head. I mean, how pathetic.
Aspire to dilute our vote. But that is what a court is going to make a determination on April 27th. So no matter how the vote turns out tomorrow, no matter how the vote turns out, there is nothing that Aron or AMC can do until at least April 27th. And April 27th is just a hearing. So there's no guarantee that the courts will make a decision on April 27th. The ruling of that hearing might not come down for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Depends on the court calendar, depends on how busy the court is, depends on what the courts want to do. So these bad actors are probably very, very upset that Allegheny Pension Fund filed that lawsuit, because that means they're going to have to keep up the criminal activity for a few more months. And with all these banks failing, and liquidity drying up.
All these banks, how many exactly have failed? How many banks have failed? How many banks have failed? I'm not asking ChatGPT, although I could ask Chat. Let me do that. Fuck it. Come on, let's go. Let's go. If I can remember my login information. Oh, I saved it. That's right. Okay. I'll bring it over here in just a second. How many banks have failed so far or not? So far in 2023. Oh, bitch. Okay. No, they don't have real-time access to financial data. So no, ChatGPT cannot help us. So contrary to popular belief, ChatGPT not who you should be asking for financial advice. Although I will say, hold on just a second. I'm writing something. I'm writing a short essay. May not be good with that type of financial advice or that type of investing knowledge or whatever you want to call it. But it is good at telling us why, and the potential reasons that we don't want to trust social media influencers with financial advice. The primary danger of relying on social media influencers for stock advice is that they may not be qualified or experienced enough to give sound financial guidance. While some influencers may have a large following and appear successful, this does not necessarily mean that they have the expertise to provide accurate stock market predictions or analysis. Furthermore, sounds like this was written about Trey. Furthermore, social media influencers may have ulterior motives for promoting certain stocks or investment strategies. In many cases, they may receive compensation for promoting certain products or companies, which can create a conflict of interest that could compromise the advice they provide. Another danger is that their recommendations may be based on personal opinions rather than objective data. Finally, it's important to remember that the stock market is inherently unpredictable, and even the most experienced financial professionals can't predict market movements with certainty. Therefore, basing investment decisions solely on the advice of social media influencers who may lack the necessary expertise, qualifications, or impartiality can be a risky proposition. So there's there are two sides at least to everything. You could say that ChatGPT has no use in finance and investing, or you could say that yeah, it might be able to provide some useful guidance. I would call this useful guidance. Um, yeah. Remember the essay? Lynn wrote an essay about misinformation being repeated as fact by GPT. I do remember that. Yep. Yep. So you can get it to do some funny things. Um, you know, but the reality with this here is basically it doesn't know this, right? We all know this, right? It doesn't know anything. What it's really good at is putting things together in ways that sound like they were composed by a human. So it might be completely false, though. That's the danger here. Like anything, like any tool, okay? Like any tool. You can build a house with a hammer or you can murder somebody with a hammer. I hate to, go that route with it. You know, um, chemicals can save lives and they can take lives, so to speak. Water is necessary for life, but too much of it can kill you, or you can drown. So, wow, it's got really dark for some reason. Kind of the same thing with Chat GPT. It can help you out or it could also kill you. Okay, no, that was Microsoft,
I don't think they got it in them.
I think.
I don't think they're
Xbox
capable
or something.
of doing this for another 2 or 3 months. But because of that lawsuit, they might have to continue doing this for another 2 or 3 months.
Doing
because
what?
here's the thing. Let's say the courts rule that the vote is good and the vote was yes. These bad actors get to make 90% of their counterfeit shares just disappear overnight for free. And you got to remember,
No.
we pay for those shares.
Okay, this is a bad argument. This is wrong. Remember what ChatGPT said? This is exactly the kind of shit. This is the kind of shit that it's talking about, okay? This guy has no fucking clue what he's talking about. Okay? Doesn't matter. If his argument would be like if you said that I'm rich, I have a million dollar bills, or I have a million bills of money. I'm richer than anybody whatever ridiculous statement you want to make that's, something the apes would say. Like, nobody has more money than me. I have 1,000,000 paper bills of money. As if that could tell you how much money that was there, but you need to know something else. You need to know like how like the total amount, or you need to know, how many of each denomination. You need more information, but that doesn't really help you because the minimum could be $1 million, but you don't beyond that you don't know. It could be monopoly money for all we know. It could be synthetic shares. Um, Shares of stock are no different. I don't know why this is so hard for these people to understand, these influencers. Maybe they understand it, they're just grifting. Maybe they don't understand it. Seems like a lot of them don't get it. But, if I have $500 million, now you know my market cap. You know that I'm capitalized at $500 million. And if I sell 500 million shares, that divides out a certain way. And if this stockholder has 10 shares, their equity is whatever that is times whatever they paid for those 10 shares. So that's the amount of money that they put in. That's their cost basis. And whatever the stock price does, their equity goes up and down with that proportionally. That's how much money they could pull out. They could, you know, turn into cash. The number of shares is irrelevant. The number of shares is irrelevant. The number of shares is going to go up and down depending on the number of shares, the total number of shares that there are. So if they've split the shares, you're going to end up with more shares, but your equity does not change. Or if they reverse split the shares, you're going to have fewer shares, but they're going to be worth more. Your equity does not change. You still have the total equity that you had immediately before that action was taken. And it's the same exact thing for short positions. It doesn't matter how many shares are shorted. That's something that these people need to stop worrying about. The short interest, the number of shares that are shorted. I would argue that it's a complete red herring anyway. It's a terrible strategy. That strategy has lost people millions, if not billions of dollars over the last 2 years, chasing short squeezes, using data from people like Ortex, spending hundreds of dollars a month on such a garbage tool that promotes terrible strategies, chasing short interest that's delayed, chasing short interest that's estimated, chasing short interest and not understanding how short selling works, and that not having 25% short interest is going to cause a short squeeze, thinking that Ortex short score means something when it's been at the same level for months and months and months and months. The amount, the short equity, that's what matters. What's the short equity? That's not going to change. So I can't stand this. It's such a basic concept. And yes, you could have 5 single-dollar bills. Let's say you could have 10 single-dollar bills. You could have 2 $5 bills. You could have one $10 bill. The apes want the singles every time? Really? That's what they're saying. We want the singles. We don't want the 110. We don't want the 2 5s. We want the $10 bills because that's more. I have more shares. You're not going to take 90. You're not going to take 9 of my $10 and give me a $10 bill. You better not do that. That's crime. That's fraud. That's so in his mind, if he loans somebody money and they change it, if he loans somebody $10 and they give him back 2 5s, he's going to be pissed. That's what you're talking about. That's exactly what you're talking about. It's nonsense. It's like this a sixth grader could understand. This a 6-year-old could understand. Yes, this a 6-year-old could get. Fuck me. Oh, God.
With our hard-earned money.
What?
We paid for those shares with our hard-earned money when it was 50, 40, 60, 30, and they pocketed that money. They kept that money.
What are you guys talking about?
And now they want us to just give it all back for free. Absolutely outrageous, but...
How can you give it all back for free? Are you literally retarded? Do you have a learning disability? I mean, have you not paid attention? Can you not read? What is going on here? There's no way that this guy is this ignorant that he's going to sit there and say, I'm not going to give my 90% of my shares back for free and smack his lips like a fucking sixth grader, like a kid. Oh my God.
Give it all back for free. Absolutely outrageous, but
Jesus.
And as far as I'm concerned, not very intelligent, but I'm continuing to vote yes.
That's some fucking nerve. That is some fucking nerve.
I'm not telling you to vote no. I'm telling you to do your own DD and come to your own conclusion. But even if the vote is yes tomorrow, AMC, Aron are still stuck legally. There's nothing they can do. And based on everything I've read, based on the DD they say we don't do, I believe the judge is going to rule.
He's such a little bitch. You know, like really.
You're being a little bitch.
He's like, these people are such assholes. And I know, I know. Scott, you're an asshole. Am I really, though? Is it really that unreasonable to ask you why you don't understand this concept? I mean, I'm not making this up. This is how it works. I mean, and I'm not like I'm not the only person who knows this. Like, this is, and why does nobody else ask? Why does nobody else confront these people? Why does nobody else make videos about it? Why does everybody just go along with it? You're part of the problem too, man. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
That Antara shouldn't have the vote. That Ape shouldn't be able to vote because he kind of went around our backs and issued that Ape shares because we wouldn't vote to issue new AMC shares.
Well, guess what? You thought you were going to fuck him, but he ended up fucking you. You thought you were going to do the fucking. Yeah. Look at this fucking. He thought he was going to do the fucking. He did. He showed up. He was ready to fuck. He was ready to fuck. But it turned out he was getting fucked. He failed to read it. He couldn't read. He got it backwards. He's mentally challenged. He shouldn't be engaging. Whatever. He had it upside down. Turns out, yeah. I mean, so, I mean, what a smug asshole. What a narcissistic psychopath. And I don't think that's out of the question here. I mean, these people are not right. There is something wrong with this. This is not productive human behavior. It's not. You you thought you were going to screw over a CEO that stock was going to make you rich. Really? You actually thought that. And now you're pissed because the company needs to survive. And you're still sitting there farting in the same fucking fake leather fucking chair. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? This shit is beyond ridiculous. And nobody seems to care beyond, nobody seems to care at levels that could put a stop to this. But I really believe that this is completely inappropriate. He just affirmed a misinterpretation, a false interpretation of what a reverse stock split is. 100%. There's no question about that. He's wrong. But this video has 119 upvotes, no downvotes, and all the comments pretty much are supportive of what he's saying. But now hedge funds have bought a ton of AMC shares. Yeah, at 68 cents. Great. Tubers also love the delay for the sake of views. Okay, now this is something. This is something. Yes, they do. Why did Trey keep saying the squeeze was coming even though he knew that it already happened? He knew it already happened because he made money, a lot of money, that he did not disclose to his audience, which, by the way, is another thing that ChatGPT mentioned. Yeah, they don't care. The true AMC grifters on YouTube, they don't want the squeeze to ever happen. They want to keep promising it next week, like free beer tomorrow. Come back tomorrow for free beer. Come back tomorrow. The sign's there. Come back tomorrow for free beer. Okay. You're at the bar every night. No free beer. No free beer. And you get comments like this. Come on, I know you're trying to be positive, but they can keep going forever because no one is enforcing the rules, and the gov is on their side. More like you picked a stock that's shitty. Okay? You picked a stock that's shitty, you picked a company that's shitty. This shit can happen. Like, you already did it. You already did it. You already did it. Okay? Here's the thing. It already happened. It already happened. Here. It already happened. You outsmarted Wall Street. However it happened, whether it was short covering or a gamma squeeze or both, or whether it was just massive volume made these pops, or a combination of all of those things, which is likely. You did it. You made a stock that had no business being $72. You made it go to that price. That's an inefficiency in the market. That's not the way it's supposed to work. But sometimes it happens. Okay, fine. We understand that. We got it. But now we know that this can happen with this stock. Now it's on our radar. Now we know that we have a retail sector that is trying to manipulate it. Yes, trying to manipulate it because it's not valued there. The company doesn't make the profit that is required to support this capitalization. So no, it doesn't belong up here, and pushing it up there would be manipulation. I mean, it naturally would not be there. It would not have gone there were it not for the apes and what they did. Period. It would not have happened. It would not have happened. So, give the apes credit. They manipulated it up. Great. What I'm saying is, why would it happen again? Everybody knows now that this is possible, that this is what not possible. Everybody knows that the apes believe that this is possible. Everybody. The company still doesn't belong up there. The company never belonged up there. It never went up there. It got a little bit close to these. I mean, not really, but I mean, okay. Let's look at it all. I mean, you can see that's yeah. It at these at this price scaling, whatever, $21, which is that's an interesting level here because I don't know how that compares to what it was before the ape dividend split, whatever. But this is kind of at these upper price levels, it's obviously a key level. Okay, I'll use obviously there. That was the all-time high before the ape phenomenon hit. That price level is the all-time high. So yeah, you hung out up there a little bit. You hung out there for what? I don't know. You hung out there from June to November 29th, the day that my channel got deleted. My first channel got deleted by YouTube, I think. It was right around then. Right around then. So that whole period, yeah, second half of 2021, great. But once it came below that, it never got close. And whenever it did, it encountered massive resistance, massive supply, overhead supply. I mean, and this commenter will take an act of God to help you. Honestly, yeah, it would take an act of God because AMC is not a company that is valued at $40. It's not. And the market wants to be efficient. You see what I'm trying to say here? You made it inefficient once, and the market has corrected this. Good luck trying to make it go to that degree of inefficiency on this again. It was in this economy, in the economy of 2021, sure, everybody had money they could just literally flush down the toilet if they wanted to. They could burn it. You ever wanted to burn money? Hope you did it in 2021. Um, but not now. Not when you have banks failing. It's my Trey laugh.
Anyway, please leave some comments. Tell me what you think.
All your
Do you
banks
think
belong to
the
us.
bad actors can keep up the criminality for another 2-3 months with all the banks imploding all around them?
Criminality. The banks are imploding all around us. All around us, the banks are imploding. You know, that could be a song. I wonder what my songwriting pal here will come up with. This is gonna be funny. Okay, but never fear, because I have an amazing opportunity for you guys right now. You're not gonna want to miss this. Oh no, you're not gonna want to miss this one. Let me finish writing the song, and then I have this exciting opportunity that I want to tell you about. And no, it's not physical NFTs, although that's going to be coming. That's going to be coming. Shoot. Why can I not? I can never find this. Oh, yeah, no, I mean, no, it's not Carlton. It's not good old Carlton, but it's not far off. But it's a good opportunity though. I mean, you gotta hear it out. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Oh, Del Dotto. Oh my Jesus. Um, but before we do any of this stuff, I want to thank everybody for watching, hanging out at this live stream. If you appreciate the content that we're trying to do here, hit the like button. It's feedback. If you don't like it, well, also subscribe and join our various chat groups that we have. The links are in the description down there. And thinking is hard. Yeah. Um, so there you go with all that stuff. I'm terrible at promotion, so I don't do it, but which is probably a problem. But I hate when people say that stuff. But on the, also you have to say it because apparently people don't do it. So anyway, but it doesn't really matter to me because this is just something I do for fun in the evenings. Um, anyway, oh, who was that? That was that, shit, I forget his name. James Arthur Ray, is his name. All right. Oh. Oh my God. Oh boy. Ron has beat me to it. He's beat me to it. Now somebody's just got to put this in music, which I could do, but Jesus Christ. So my girlfriend played this song for me not that long ago called Brenda Put Your Bra On. Brenda Put Your Bra On. And it's like a trailer park soap opera type of song. So here's Ron's song. Do I have to? I guess I have to read it. I'm not singing this. I don't know. There's I don't know what the tune is. You should have made it to the. You should have told it to the tune of like, row, row, row your boat" or something. But I still wouldn't sing it. So let me get this window. Come on now. Where the hell? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, it's too big. Okay. It's gonna be too small. It went from too small to too big to too small, and anyway, Donnie had a plan to make some cash. He saw AMC and was in a bit of a rash. He tweeted out to all his fans to buy the stock and take a chance. Nice rhyming pattern. Chorus. Donnie's grifting of AMC, trying to make himself some money. But the stock price doesn't lie. It's the shareholders who will survive. Interesting. The traders listened to what he said, bought up the stock, and raised its head. But Donnie wasn't done just yet. He tweeted more, making the price set. Donnie's grifting of AMC, trying to make himself some money. This chorus needs a little work. The stock rose high, it was a hit, but Donnie's motives weren't legit. He sold his shares and made a mint, leaving the traders feeling spent. Donnie's grifting of AMC, trying to make himself some money. Donnie's gone, but the traders remain, holding on, hoping for some gain. They'll learn the lesson, hard and true. Never trust a grifter. That's Donnie's clue. Yes, nice. Chorus, I could see, a little bit revised, but see, I'm not criticizing Ron. I'm criticizing ChatGPT, so I don't care. You know. So anyway, good. We need more of that. We need more of that type of stuff on Twitter, Reddit, YouTube. In fact, that's what I'm going to start doing. I don't know if you've seen my shorts. I have some shorts out here on YouTube. Couple creative things, you know, one about the ape father. Yeah, Chat GPT wrote them, but some of them. Oh, those, yeah. I got some sonnets, on the shorts. I got some poetry over there, because the truth is like poetry, and everybody fucking hates poetry, but I like it, so whatever. And yeah, you can check out the shorts. They're not that great, but they're fun. It's something different. But I think what I'm going to do with the shorts now, I don't know why I didn't think of this before. I'm gonna write some songs. I'm gonna write some songs about individual grifters. They'll be limited edition physical NFT songs printed as well to go along with the limited Scott Allen edition AMC Grifter physical NFTs that will be for sale in my store whenever I get a 3D printer. But yeah, that they can have songs that go with them. You can get a free NFT MP3 download in physical. You can get a free gold bar USB drive with the NFT MP3 on it on a private blockchain that only you have access to. Now, if that's not security, I don't know what is. But, you guys have really Oops, 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 oops. Oh God, no, 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 no. Okay. One thing I wanted to bring up too, real quick, is it's in the title of the stream, and this is fascinating to me. This is absolutely fascinating to me that this exists and that this is a thing. But apparently it is. So I like books. I have a lot of books, and a lot of them are in PDF format. But I like to learn things and read, so I got a lot of stuff like that. And so I'm always looking for stuff. And whenever I hear any type of book or resource mentioned by somebody that I look up to or respect, I try to get it, try to look for it and acquire it. And so I'm doing that, and I came across something that mentioned this book by a guy named Seth Klarman, and I had never heard of him or this book. The book's called Margin of Safety: Risk Averse Value Investing Strategies for the Thoughtful Investor. And I've got quite a pretty decent collection of these types of books, books on investing, but they've all been ones that I've had recommended, or that somebody that uh, a professional, or like somebody like Katie Stockton, the ETF lady, would mention. So the idea is, okay, these people are good. I want to be good. They mentioned this book, so why not? So came across this book mentioned, and so I've looked it up here, and okay, yeah, there it is, Margin of Safety. So and click on Amazon, and it comes up, and this is what I find. This is what I found here. Margin of Safety: Value Investing for the Thoughtful Investor, 25.99 and $2,599 hardcover. It's only a grand for the paperback, though. Is this the holy grail of investing? I mean, what's going on here? So it turns out that it's not this expensive. I mean, it is this expensive. I mean, this is a real price on. I mean, this is the market. Here's the market for you. So you could have invested in AMC. You could have invested in Seth Klarman books. I'm just saying, this is the market price. Anyway, what's going on here? Well, it looks so according to this Google info box, which we have to, give a disclaimer to. This info box is not financial advice, or Google is not providing financial advice here or anything like that. But this book apparently only had 5,000 copies printed. So one could say it has a float of 5,000. So as a result of such a small supply and enormous demand, the book is very expensive. I love this because this is supply and demand at work being illustrated, not in the stock market, not in, any other trade, in a book about investing. How amazing is that? I just think that's fantastic. So the book had such a small number of copies printed that price shot up. I mean, one could say that this is a Moass. $2,500, $2,600. Wow. And listen to the description. Investors are all too often lured by the prospect of instant millions and fall prey to the many fads of Wall Street. The myriad approaches they adopt offer little to no real prospect for long term success and invariably run the risk of considerable economic loss. They resemble speculation, hey, or outright gambling, not a coherent investment program. And I'm just going to interject here, okay? Speculation and outright gambling absolutely is a coherent program. It's not a coherent investment program, but it's a coherent degenerative program. It's part of a comprehensive degenerative set of skills and habits that one could adopt. But long-term investing is a totally different thing. And speculation and gambling, you know, one could argue really don't belong in a long term, or it's not a good long term strategy in and of itself, by itself. Now, you could generate short term profits and put those in long term assets that will appreciate over time. And that now you're talking about a comprehensive and coherent, potentially, investment program. So I say this because I feel like he's making fun of me here. He's talking about me. Speculation and gambling. I like those things. They're fun, and I'm not bad at it. So what's the harm? But one other thing that, I heard and I really liked was, you have to find what resonates with you. And this is again all in all of life, but market is no different. There's a lot of different stuff. There's a lot of different stuff you could do. You could just sell call options, to apes or something, for example, roach capital. Or you could, just buy and hold index ETFs like SPY and IWM and just accumulate that over time. Or you could trade actively in and out. Some strategies are more risky than others. At the end of the day, there's always going to be risk. How you handle it, what you do with it. By the way, Ken Griffin said that risk is what you make of it. Also, I don't know who said this, but you have to take risk. Otherwise, you'll just be sitting in the same, you know, couch cushion, just, spouting non-information, misinformation, malinformation. Anyway, I found the $2,600 book. Did I pay $2,600 for it? Well, I don't like to, talk about money and stuff like that. So I prefer not to disclose, what I laid out for this thing. But I have it in PDF format, so it's here. I haven't gotten into it yet, but I want to know what is so. I mean, okay, a book with 5,000 copies printed. Okay, sure, $2,600. Just simple like supply and demand. But why the demand there? Just because there's only 5,000 copies, that doesn't mean that it has to be $2,600. That's what people are willing to pay for it. Why are people willing to pay so much for this book? Is there anything in this book that could be helpful? What is the deal with this book? I'm particularly interested in the art of business valuation, personally, here. Um, chapter 8, I guess. Um, how are we valuing valuating businesses? How do we know what the stock should be based on what the numbers are on the balance sheet? That's fascinating. And I know, a little bit about it, but I'm curious here what they're saying here because we're talking about value investing. Value investing. We're not talking about Tesla necessarily, right? I don't know. Is Tesla considered value now or is Tesla growth or what? Whatever. Tesla used to be a growth stock. Is it still a growth stock? I guess. I guess it's growing. I don't know. But that being the dichotomy, value versus growth. Growth being your, tech, more speculative, risky type of, you know, businesses, whereas values like your P&G, um, your consumer staples, utilities, things that are more stable, they don't shoot up, but they go up over time, kind of idea. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So we got that. We got this. We're going to do some stuff from that book because I'm not rich, and I know that a lot of people aren't rich. So hey, if we can bring some value uh, through bringing a book that's hard to get, to, some more people and we can learn about investing, and see what the hullabaloo is about with this expensive ass book, why the hell not? So we'll do that some. All right. Feature presentation. The amazing opportunity that I have for you, besides subscribing and all that wonderful jazz. Let me punch this up here. I know that some people are probably gonna be disappointed here. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna temper your expectations right now. This is not great. This is terrible. Okay. This is not, I mean, it's real. Oh, it's real. But this is what get rich quick was in the 90s, 80s, 90s, right? So I'm gonna leave you with this, and I'm gonna slide out. I'm gonna slide out the back door. I'm gonna slide out the back door while this plays, so to speak. But hey, um, and maybe I should say wealthy. Okay, rich. Okay, we're talking about money though. So I mean, obviously everybody, nobody should even want to be rich. I mean, I'll tell you, it's a burden. It really is a burden. It's not easy. It's not easy. Rich people in hashtag rich people problems, but it can definitely be a burden. It's not all it's cracked up to be. So, I really feel that this Moass not happening is the best thing that ever happened to so a lot of these people. And we can talk more about that another time. But some of the people here, they know what they know what I mean by that because we've talked about that type of stuff before. And I'll tell you what. Well, let's just let Tom Vu play us out.
Not
Thanks,
everyone
guys.
is fortunate enough to know my techniques of how to make a lot of money.
The Tom Vu method differs from others in that his system teaches you how to make money in real estate immediately and enjoy life right away.
I know some of you are thinking, my seminar is the same like everybody else's seminar. My seminar is not the same like everybody else. My course is copyrighted. It means no one else is allowed to teach my unique course. Plus, my system can show you how to put money in your pocket in real estate right away.
Tom Vu says a key to making quick money in real estate is to know how to deal in distressed properties. He says you can locate money-making properties every day.
This is another house I just bought. It's worth $500,000. Using my own technique, I pay only $285,000. I make $215,000 in this house. What can you do with $215,000? You can take 10 trips around the world, send 4 or 5 of your kids to go to college, or you can even buy a rose.
4 or 5 of your kids.
I show you how to make all.
How many kids you got, Tom?
Here's a secret for you to make millions. Very simple. Learn how to do your first real estate transaction, make a small profit, and after that, don't quit. Keep repeating the same successful process many times over. You'll become very wealthy. Here's another example how easy it is you can make a lot of money. Take a look at this house, my friend. It's worth $500,000. I pick it up for $285,000.
Steal.
Making $215,000 profit. If you can do about 10 deals like this, the way I'm about to show you, you can retire a multimillionaire. People say that I'm a genius, but I'm not smarter than anybody. I'm only a lucky boy who found a genius money-making system. In the last 5 years, many of my seminar students have applied my system and also make a lot of money. Let me take you to an actual real estate closing where you will see one of my students apply my technique about to walk away with a nice check profit. I invite you to come to my seminar, learn how to make a lot of money. Once you have a taste of a good life, you will never go back. I didn't have all this at first. I started with nothing, less than nothing. In just a few years, I made a fortune. I have everything I ever wanted. You can do the same thing too. If you know my technique to make a fortune, you don't need a credit, you don't need money, you don't even need a college degree to get started. If you have a desire, get the guts, Come to my seminar. Let me show
Come
you
to my
how.
seminar.
I know lots of you out there are skeptical. In my hand, framed, is a check for $203,000 and $29.32.
Now, this is
I
interesting,
net
okay?
in one transaction, one deal. This is a net check.
I know after watching me and my student making a lot of money, you got excited and you want to go to my seminar to learn how to make millions yourself. And a lot of your friends will tell you, don't come to the seminar, it's a get-rich-quick plan. But tell them, it is a get-rich-quick plan, because life is too short.
I haven't heard that, seen that in a long time.
Someone trying to discourage you, my friend, take a look at them from head to toe. If they are nothing, stay away from them. You want to learn from success, not failure.
You see these checks in my hands? You know I did it.
Listen to this.
The fact is, lots of people are making money all over the country, starting with nothing.
Tom
If you don't know how, the seminar will show you exactly how.
I never forget what my grandfather told me. There are two kinds of people in life, the doer and the loser. Which one are you?
Which one are you?
Tired of where you are, working hard for years for nothing? Are you excited about watching my student making a fortune on TV?
Look at that control room.
Started out with little or no
Jesus.
cash and no credit, no experience. Do you have a guts to step out of where you are to achieve your financial freedom?
Imagine how much power they're using there, power and all that shit. Holy fuck.
Seminar. The cover charge for this seminar is not $1,000. It's not even $500. It's not even $100. The cover charge, my friend, is free. Free. And if you're
that shit's all on three-phase power. It's insanely
to maximize your opportunity. You deserve to be broke.
Oh my God. Okay. So Tom Vu. All right. I know I said I was sliding out the back door, but I stuck around. Tom Vu is now a successful poker player. In all of these poker events. Like this is well, this is World Series of Poker, but on this one I think is, I don't know if it's Vietnamese or what. I don't know what this is. I know nothing about this, so it's probably not Vietnamese because it's in American. But this is from July of last year. Came in 6th place. You've got some, top tens. 1st place, No Limit Hold'em, 2016 Las Vegas. He lives in Las Vegas now. He did not go to jail. He wasn't arrested for fraud or anything. He was actually successful. And then he retired and became a poker player. Kind of interesting. Anyway, Tom Vu, come to my seminar. You can gamble. All right. Have a good night, guys. Catch you later. Bye-bye.